Hello and welcome back to Solz Rant.
You sound
Welcome
dead,
back.
man. What's
Can you,
wrong?
please, bro, please. Just guys, 1 second. Just let me introduce the show.
Bro, get on with it.
I'll remove everyone. Wallahi, uqsimu billah, I'll remove
Get
everyone.
on with it.
Yeah, wallahi, get out of here, man. Get out of here. Anyway,
Good.
listen, guys. Welcome back to the Solz Football Corner. Welcome back to another live stream, another show. Obviously, listen, we ain't here to be laughing, to be joking, to be doing all of this today because I'll be real. The way our season's gone, listen, we're gonna do a season review show on maybe Monday or next Friday, yeah. But I'll be real, the way the season's gone and the stuff that's happened this season, I'm fucking pissed. The way I'm seeing certain people transfer news, what we're being linked to, I'm fucking pissed off. I'm fucking pissed. So listen, big ups to everybody who is tuned in. Big ups to everybody that was here nice and early. Big ups to everybody is watching on the replay. We're back again with another episode of the Koora pod. I am joined by the boys, full house, full panel today. We're gonna be discussing everything. We're gonna be speaking about Wirtz to fucking Liverpool. What a fucking signing for them that is. Meanwhile, we're sitting in the fucking corner like some cucks doing fuck all. Yeah, we're just sitting in the corner, just watching it all happen in front of us. Yeah. We're gonna be speaking about either Gyokeres or Sesko. I don't know what the fuck's going on with this shit. Do you know what I mean? Certain people are saying Sesko, certain people are coming out and saying this. Safi, hello, Habibi, hello, Safi. Chef Neck. Well, I saw you, bro. It's all good. Just 1 second, man. Just let me just get it out, bro, please. I'm seeing why for that. I'm seeing all of this shit go on. I'm also seeing a parade in North London for Tottenham Hotspur. I'm seeing man celebrating, people sending me videos. Fucking shit football club winning trophies before us. 5-year trophy drought. Like, bro, any Arsenal fan that's sitting here and wants to put a positive spin on anything that's going on right now, bro, this is panic settings, bro. This is DEFCON. I don't even know which one is. I think it's in reverse. It's DEFCON 1. I think is the max. Is the big one. So listen, it's DEFCON 1. 1 second. I'll get to you, broski, because I know you're automatically gonna come out and start doing the shield and
I'm genuinely not. Wallah, I'm not. I was gonna say that.
Habibi, introduce us first. Say this is.
Oh yeah, sorry.
This is us.
Bro, my head. This is the thing. Solz just starts conversation.
You are. Stop, brother. I don't want to introduce you. Everyone is a dusty face.
Listen, I am joined by my brothers, Ash, man like Ash, my Maghrebi brother.
Yes, sorry.
Okay, there you go. You wanted to have a little intro?
No, nothing. I don't want to say anything. I was just saying.
Anyway.
I was just gonna say that I wasn't gonna make it today. I was sick, but then I got like DMs saying, "Listen, guys, the show is dying. You need to go and save it." Solz is sucking off Arteta as always. T and Sami are saying Europa League and 16th place is better than Champions League semi-final and second, and Saad is waffling as always. So
yeah. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know why I made enemies of everyone. I didn't choose any allies.
First of all, you're a liar. Not only are you sick, you're a sick liar. Okay, nobody said that, bro. You're a sick liar, bro.
On top of that, the cushions on your sofa are dusty. You need to pat them down, bro, and dust them off.
Yeah, exactly.
Mate.
My cushions.
Bro, I guess you guys don't know class. I don't mind. Why have you got a window in your cupboard? Fix up, man. Anyway.
It's not a window, but I expect like no class.
Let
what that is.
What's up with that hair? Like,
sad.
What's up with that hairline?
I'm a man. I don't apply makeup like
7 minutes. 7 minutes.
Just a fine. I'm just gonna do my opening statement, yeah. And genuinely now, all guys, banter aside, I'm being dead serious now. Wallah. This is a time where I'm actually going to bring myself down to be honest now, even with you lot. And
so you weren't honest before. There you are. We got him. We got him.
gonna be honest, yeah. Today's a dark day, and genuinely, it's a very dark day, and it's meant to be Man United that are in the mud, and it's meant to be Man United that are depressed. But I genuinely feel like a United fan today, and it's not because of Tottenham. I don't care about Tottenham, but genuinely now, Liverpool have messed me up really bad.
Let's talk about it.
They're to sign Florian Wirtz, right? They signed nobody last summer, which ended up being a smart investment by the looks of what's happened. They won the league, and now look what's happening. They're about to sign Florian Wirtz. They're about to sign Gyokeres, probably the best left back in the league this season. They've already replaced Trent Alexander-Arnold with another offensive fullback that's had 2 amazing seasons for Bayer Leverkusen. They've sorted their defensive. They've actually strengthened their defense if you count letting go of Trent and signing Gyokeres. They're about to sign Wirtz. We don't even know if they might even get bloody Julian Alvarez if any potential deal with Darwin Núñez. We don't even know. And with all of that news that's just come to me now, I'm now being told that Arsenal that Sesko is the main target. Sesko is the fucking priority, because now we have a sporting director that doesn't have any power or say in his decisions now. He just comes in and does the dog work for the manager and goes, okay, Arteta, you want Sesko? Okay, I think Gyokeres would be better, but whatever you say. It's fucking disgusting. It is disgusting behavior. What's the point of having a sporting director if you're not going to listen to his targets? That's the whole point of having a sporting director. I don't understand what's going on here. Like, I genuinely feel like we're in the mud. And just to make things worse, guys, those 2 things, by the way, because I'm not thinking about Spurs and parades and fuck all that shit at the end of the day, because ultimately I'm thinking about Prem or champs. And Liverpool signing Florian Wirtz means that we have a very, very low chance of winning the Prem with all that fucking Arteta. Because now they're going to strengthen to a point where they already won the league this year, and they're going to become a much stronger team. And how do we even challenge them? There's the concern. But just to make it worse, Arteta's coming out in a press conference for Southampton today, and he's saying word for word, Arsenal, the fact that I built this team up to the highest level, to a point now where next year we have to win a Premier League or a Champions League. That shows where we are as a team. We're at the highest level, one of the best teams in Europe now. That it shows that we have to win these things, and we have to win these things. But how are you going to win these things? What's the plan of action here? What is the plan of action here? Benjamin Sesko. And you're talking about Havertz is getting wham in the gym. That's what you want to talk about the day before Southampton.
I'm confused. Who are you criticizing, Arteta or the board?
Arteta and the board. Arteta for
what? Why do you want him to stay then?
Arteta, statements come from him, not from the board.
Arteta picking a stupid.
Why do you want him to stay?
No. Arteta picking a stupid target in Sesko and not being able to see that Gyokeres is the better option, and the fucking board because the only people in this whole planet that have control over Arteta, it's not you, Ashraf, it's not me, it's not the fans, it's the board. The board are the ones who make the decisions. If the board say Berta decisions, he makes the calls, then Arteta has to shut his mouth or leave the club. But obviously the board are giving him flexibility. The board are giving him his right to pick his players. So the board have to be to blame as well. If Arteta is an idiot, what do you do with an idiot? You punish him. We can't punish him. Sitting on a stream saying Arteta out is not going to punish him. The board have to punish him. But here's the point: the Arsenal fans.
So are you Arteta out, Solz?
No, I'm not. My point still stands. I've criticized.
You don't
Arteta.
want to punish him either.
No, I've criticized Arteta all year this year on his subs, on his tactics, on his defensive style of play, on everything. I can criticize Arteta, but still say that I don't think we should sack him now, because ultimately he will die on the hill anyway. He will die on the hill that he's going up. Because if the board are going to give him Sesko,
not sacking him now is us getting us Sesko. There you go.
Well, look, the point is, if Arteta, I just don't, for multiple reasons, I don't want Arteta to be sacked for more, and we're not going to go into that now. But the point is that we've got teams around us strengthening. we look like we're signing the wrong targets.
Boston, wallahi, this is hopium. I hear this from everybody. He's better.
No, I've read the documents. I've seen why. I've seen all the analysis on it. Regardless of what you said, I've seen everything. Regardless of what you said to me and showed me on systems, numbers speak facts. Numbers speak volumes. Gyokeres' goal scoring records are one of the best in Europe. If Arteta in his press conference today,
not one of the best, the best.
Yeah, the best. If Arteta said today in his press conference, we want Arteta, we have to win next year. Why are you signing somebody who you see in a future project in 2, 3, 4 years' time? Why are you not signing the one person that can win us something next year? But now the problem is even with fucking Gyokeres, I don't think we'll win the league. Because
Solz,
of fucking other teams strengthening.
everything you're saying makes sense, and I think all of us here agree with you. What doesn't make sense though is you saying all of these things and then saying, but I still want him to stay for other reasons. That's very contradictory. I agree with what you said, because you made a very good point earlier when you said we cannot sack him. I agree. I cannot sack him. I have to accept that he's going to be there next season. But if I'm asked an opinion,
why should you have to accept that? Why?
Because
he came in terms of
but why can't you come out and say, fuck the board, I want the board out for not sacking this prick?
Sorry?
Why can't you come out and say, I want the board out as well for not sacking this prick?
Because, Solz, we don't deal in a utopian world. Realistically, the board is not an employee of the club. The board own the club, right? So the board, I cannot say I want the board out as if this is my father's club and I can pick someone out, right? And the reality is, Solz, by the way,
Liverpool fans want FSG out. United fans want Inos out now.
I agree. If
you're not all consistent in your argument,
no. Wait, Solz, wait. I am consistent because the reality is, I don't think the Kroenkes are the issue. The Kroenkes are the issue because yes, they are not sacking Arteta. I agree with that. But my point is, if Berta has the right decision-making power, Arteta shouldn't be. That's the only thing that needs to change. Not the ambition of the board, not the money they have spent, not the players that we have. We do obviously need to strengthen, but the manager at the helm of things is not good enough. That's the reality of things.
That's where I disagree with you. I think
when you ask me what my opinion is, I'll say yes, even though he cannot get sacked, but in my opinion, he should not be here. You don't say that. You say, yes, I cannot get sacked. And if I had the power, I wouldn't sack him.
Because I think if Berta picks the target, if Berta picks the players,
talk about this matter.
Wait, but one last thing. I'm going to say one liner. If Berta picks the players, Ashraf, if Berta picks the players and gets the players that we need, the difference is, Ashraf, I believe Arteta can win us a major honor next year, and by major honor I mean Prem or champs. I
disagree, but let Sami go. I don't want to respond because I want Sami to
go. Regarding the board, look, maybe 80 or 90% of the Liverpool fan wanted FSG out. Am I right or wrong? Right.
Correct.
But now everybody wants FSG in because they've seen what they've done. So for me, the board, they want what is best for the club. They are willing to invest the capital in that. However, the issue here, like Ash mentioned and you, Solz, is who's taking the decision when it comes to signings. And if it's still Arteta, then this is a big problem in our football club and in our culture and how we are running things. It's a massive issue that we need to resolve as soon as possible. Because as things stands, we are still, I mean, maybe Sesko is like 80% our priority target. Maybe Gyokeres is the second guy, but I wanted Gyokeres for the same reason as you, Solz. We think that's what do you mean it's not?
I heard that the lists of both Berta and Arteta clash so much that Arteta has
this is
very low on his list, and Berta has Gyokeres as number 1 on his list. You know what I'm saying?
If that's the case, then there's an issue. Then the board has to interfere here and say, okay, Berta, we're going to go with your experience, with your football knowledge across the decade that you spent in Atletico Madrid.
That was my point. And that was
my point. And I agree with you. And I agree with you.
What can a man do if he doesn't have any? If he doesn't have a say? Yeah, because
what do you mean not having a say?
I was talking about lists. Yeah. Did you know that Berta did not even have Sesko?
No, we're talking about executing that list. Who has the power to say that?
Okay,
the board, right?
The power, and at the end of the day,
people who hire Arteta, the people who hire that pay his salary.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, right? Tim Lewis is still very much involved in what's going on and in the decision making, because I heard that last year in Edu's absence, he was working together with Eto. So I heard that Tim Lewis is now still very much involved in what's going on, and he backs Arteta more than he does Berta overall.
And I think that's what drove Edu out of the club. If I'm being honest, he went silently out of the blue. Edu just packed his stuff and went out of the club. And I think that's the main reason why that Arteta likes to interfere on something that it's not his domain. Now, I mean, yes, he wanted this player, but the other the sporting director said, no, I think this is the best guy for our team. This is the guy who's going to move the needle for Arsenal. This is the guy who's going to take us to the next level, who's going to win us the trophies, who's going to get us stuff. But Arteta, at this point, I think he's a stubborn little kid, that he wants it his way and only his way. And if you don't accept that, he's gonna tell you to fuck off and go to the highway. That's my problem with him.
He's gonna die on the hill.
That's what I think. That's what's gonna happen. And the problem is, the people who's gonna suffer, and people who's gonna suffer most is us as fans, because we're gonna keep watching this shit.
Not necessarily, because
well, let's say emotionally you are investing in this club a little bit. I mean, if we lose, if we don't win, you get mad, right?
Yeah, so he could win.
That's your involvement in the club.
So I want to make it clear. I'm not saying that if he signs his targets, we're going to lose. Because if he signs his targets, even though I may disagree with his targets, if Arteta goes next year and wins the league with Sesko,
but I think he's too stubborn. I think he's too stubborn. Even if we get Gyokeres, you say, "Fuck it, I'm not going to win it," just to show them that I'm.
I'm just saying, if we got Sesko and we won,
you know what it is, guys.
An amazing signing.
You know what it is, and I'm gonna be genuine when I say this, because this has been surfing around the internet. I've heard this on other panels as well, and I can see a little bit of sense in what has been said, which is Arteta really wants Sesko, and this is what I've heard. Yeah, this is not my opinion. This is what I've heard, and I personally agree with it. Arteta wants Sesko because he bought Havertz. I don't think if he buys Gyokeres, he cannot bench Havertz straight away. You know what I'm saying? If he buys someone like Sesko, who is an understudy of Havertz, he can still justify the signing that he made of the guy that earns the most in this team. You know what I'm saying? This guy has been glazing Havertz, has been talking about how wham he got. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this guy turned into a Super Saiyan. You know what I'm saying? He went into the hyperbolic time chamber and he came out as Super Saiyan 2. You know what I'm saying?
And he broke all the records.
He broke all the records. Wow, bro, the physical records. Sol Campbell, who is Sol Campbell's physicality when we have Kai Havertz? You know what I'm saying? Wallah, bro. All I'm saying is this guy is trying to justify this Havertz transfer, and if he buys someone like Gyokeres, he must bench Havertz. He cannot play Havertz the same anymore. He doesn't want to play Havertz in midfield, so what does he do? He buys someone like Sesko, so he can still play Havertz and justify that signing.
You know what you said there? I think that's actually correct, because Arteta was saying today in his press conference for Southampton, he was saying, the commentator asked him, do you need offensive changes in the striker position? And he was saying, oh, we've got Havertz and we have this striker, but when they got injured, we didn't have any replacements. So now we need to strengthen in that area. Maybe he wants Sesko because he wants Sesko. Maybe, I know it sounds crazy, but he might even want Sesko to come in and be a backup for Havertz.
Are you mad? He's
injured.
No, but
I disagree with you on something, T. I don't think he's given up on the Havertz in midfield idea. Do you guys remember when Jesus this season had those 2 or 3 games where he was banging goals, right?
Okay, that was not my whole point. My point was this guy is still trying to justify that signing by buying someone like Sesko, who is not guaranteed a starter, so he can still play Havertz. You know, that's what I'm saying.
And I'm agreeing with you, and that's why I'm adding to it that even if he gets Sesko or even Gyokeres, I guarantee you we'll have many games next season where he plays Havertz in the middle. Because for whatever reason, this manager thinks he's better than what he actually is. He's at like a tier 2 level, but he thinks he's God tier. He's like, I will make the Havertz in the middle.
Well, that's an opinion. That's an opinion. That's not a fact.
No, it is 100%. When you get a play, I'll tell you why it's not an opinion. When you get a player who's not a midfielder and you play him as an 8, and T and Saad and I, we checked these stats, he was averaging less than half the touches Declan Rice and Odegaard were having in the middle, while contributing 0 goals and 0 assists.
What about
Right?
his hold up
In that-
play and his what about his hold up play, his aerial
Nothing,
ability?
nothing. It didn't. He did all that, and it led to nothing. All the aerial ability. Go check the stats.
Okay, led
All
to
the aerial
anything.
ability,
Okay. He
all
did
the
that, but
aerial
it led to-
ability, and everything he did led to
Mm.
nothing. We would literally lose the ball in the next phase of attack. So having someone tall to win the aerial threat means nothing if you don't have someone for the rebound. It's football common sense 101. If you're having someone big up top to win the headers, there has to be someone to follow up. We don't play that kind of system. The fact that even this season when Jesus was killing it and he started him up top, he still played Havertz in the middle. He's trying to clearly shoehorn it. And I think he's so stubborn and egoistic as a manager.
Yeah.
He's like, I
remember that.
will make this work and shut everyone up. And that is going to be the sword he dies on if it's not
Yeah.
already something.
I can't lie.
And we get one of the most decorated sporting directors just to be his poster boy. You know what I'm saying? Just, hey, get this envelope and post it to the post office. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're here for. You're not here to write the whole letter.
But
No,
he said,
you're just going
it's
to
up
post
to
it.
them,
Khalas.
right? He said it's
You
up
know
to
what I'm
them. Like, what do you mean by it's up
Guys,
to them?
I'll be completely real with you guys. I don't believe that he's trying to get Sesko because it's somebody that's not a starter or a guaranteed starter because he wants to play Havertz in the midfield. I was trying to find the tweet, but I can't find it. I've got to look through my bookmarks because I'm pretty sure either David Ornstein or somebody came out and said they are looking next season to move Havertz back into the midfield. So that's the whole other conversation that we need to
Yeah, but
speak
where's
about.
Rice going to
They
play?
don't.
Where's Ødegaard going to play?
Is
Is Havertz going to play 6? Where is Zubomendi going to play?
He wants to have midfield where he can use multiple different people. I don't know how it's gonna work, but all I know is that he's trying to move
Bro,
Havertz back
is
into
he
midfield.
going to play 6
That's why he's
midfielders?
getting
What is he going to
excited.
do, bro?
That's
No,
why
no,
he's
He's
3-3.
going to play 6 midfielders.
Havertz, Rice, and Odegaard. That's how it's going to
Yeah,
be.
but where's
Or he,
Zubomendi going to play?
I don't think he's bringing him just to start
Where's
every
Partey
game.
going to play? If because they want Partey to stay, they gave him a contract, and
Yes,
he
that's
still
true.
needs to decide on the contract. What if he stays? Where is he going to play?
Wait, I'll tell you. Very easy. Very, very easy to answer that. He'll rotate between him and Timber as right back. Wallah, he will do that. Because he actually did it the start of last season, and he did it this season as well, even when Timber is available in some games. He will 100% do that. He will probably want Partey to stay just as bench cover, as squad depth. His ideal midfield, he's shown it many times.
Isn't that a red flag in itself that this guy
It
wants to play
We know
midfield
it.
at right
No,
back?
but
It's
but
common
we
sense. He
know
should be
it's red
gone.
flags. He
Guys should
shouldn't
have
be
been gone
here.
already.
He shouldn't
He
be
shouldn't
here.
be
You're telling us a red flag. I've seen. This isn't even the first, bro. I've seen red flags before this happened, bro. This is just another thing that I'm adding to the fucking list from this brain dead. Let me not say the C word, bro, because I'm gonna get this even more.
Brendan
No. But
And now you see. Now you see, because if Arteta did not have any say, because people were saying, oh, he's not a manager anymore. Now he's the coach now that Berta is here. Well, Berta wants Gyokeres. That's the number one target on his list. And this is the striker guy.
And Rodrigo.
You know what I'm saying? And this is the striker guy, the attacker guy. This is the guy that bought Joao Felix when he was wanted by everyone. You know what I'm saying? This guy bought Diego Costa. This guy bought Luis Suarez for a bargain and made them win the league with him. You know what I'm saying? This guy is the striker guy. He's the expert when it comes to strikers. He knows what a squad actually needs because he knows how to analyze the team and bring the right targets. You know what I'm saying? And in his opinion, the most decorated guy in this board right now, whether we like it or not, the guy with the biggest CV, the guy with the biggest success out of everyone in that board right now is Andrea Berta. And this guy cannot even get his own targets and needs to listen to the guy who has brought us in our second longest trophy drought. And there you go. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I mean, yeah.
So
when I look at the situation, yeah, when I look at the situation that we're in right now, yeah, I'll be real, we're fucked right now. We're completely fucked.
I said it at the start. Yeah,
the situation that we're in is that Arteta has too much control, way too much control. Yeah, Berta needs. I'm sorry, but this should have been a clarification from the start. When you applied for the job, you should have said this. I need control. I need control. I need to get my targets. I will listen to you know. I will listen to certain like recommendations from the manager, but I'm gonna listen to them. I won't. It's not gonna be the main thing that I go off of. That needs to be the thing that he should have said.
Do you think they are? Do you think they are in agreement with on Rodrigo, Berta, and Arteta?
Yes, Rodrigo. They definitely are. I think they are in agreement with Rodrigo, but apparently he's spoken to Xabi Alonso and it's all good and he's gonna stay. That's what we're hearing out of Real Madrid. And
Who's
that's
in agreement
one of
with
the main.
Rodrigo?
No. Real Madrid, he's staying. Apparently, he's spoken to Xabi Alonso, and
I thought
Xabi
you said
Alonso.
we have an agreement with
No.
Rodrigo.
Xabi Alonso wants to use him in the team. He said he'll be able to fit him in as on the left, be able to sort something out with him. So apparently, he's staying now. The whole relationship is mended or whatever. This is coming from Real Madrid sources, isn't it? So we don't know if it's true. We don't know if it's lies. Do you know what I mean? But in regards to this, in regards to our situation, yeah, we are in a situation where we're about to sign Sesko, who, listen, I don't think he's the finished article. I've seen certain things to his game, which, yes, they are good. I think his heading ability is very good. He's very aerially dominate. He's
Don't give us this copious
dominant in the.
stat.
He's dominant.
Bro,
I'm not doing it.
I
Can
would be
just
good
grab
as
this
head,
line?
I would be good in headers as well if I had a basketball leg, but
No,
no
no,
footballing
but-
ability. You know what I'm saying?
But here's the
But you
thing.
can say,
Here's the thing,
you don't
he's
want.
got-
You
he's
can say
got-
you want Gyokeres instead of Sesko.
By the way, we do have to talk about the Wirtz move as well. so we haven't
Yeah.
even-
We're gonna speak about the Verts. I just
And I want to
say that
answer something
for
Sam
me,
mentioned, but later.
Brilliant
me-
signing, man.
for me, I'm just saying I can see certain things that are good in his game, but he's still very raw when it comes to his reading of the game, his certain runs that he makes. Do you know what I mean? It just, for me, it doesn't look like a player that's there to win now. That's my issue with Sesko. Let's not act like just because we don't want him, we just call him shit, bro. Come on, man. If you call him shit, then you're just being disingenuous, bro.
No,
You can't-
I call him shit because Ashraf
Who's
and I,
your shit?
unlike you guys, Ashraf and I, unlike you
Sesko
guys,
shit.
Sesko
He's not
shit. We
shit.
watch the
He's not
Bundesliga.
shit.
You don't.
Ashraf, you're shit. You're shit about Sesko
Ashraf,
shit. You're
Ashraf, tell
shit.
these guys,
Shut up.
wallah,
Stop
You're
being-
shit. You're
Being
shit.
Arteta cocksuckers, bro. Just because we're
not
linked with
that.
someone
He's
who's
not
good.
the
Tomorrow we're linked.
bro.
Tomorrow we're linked with Jesse
Besides,
Lingard. He's
Besides,
good.
besides,
You don't
besides,
watch
here's
him.
the
Shut
problem.
up.
Side, here's the
has
problem.
good-
I agree.
He has good
Side,
parts.
side,
His
side,
aerial
side.
ability is good.
No, side. Here's the problem. I actually agree with TK and I agree with Ashraf that Gyokeres is the better player and he's the player we should
Yes,
get.
100%. I agree.
think I can agree Gyokeres is amazing and we should get him. But again, it's not two sides of the extreme. Turning around and calling Sesko shit when he's one of the most sought after players in Europe is fucking dumb.
No.
Just shut
We've
your mouth.
been
Talking about-
we've
Shut up.
been
my
calling
God.
Sesko shit.
Stop this
He's not
BS.
shit
We've
though. He's
been
not
calling
shit.
Sesko
He's
shit.
just not shit though, is he, TK? He's
Bro,
not shit, is he?
he is.
He is. He is, bro.
He's a worse
12
version of Giroud.
goals.
He's the worst version than Giroud. I watched Giroud before he came to Arsenal, and I was arguing with people saying, I know he's the top scorer with Montpellier. I know he won the league with Montpellier. He's not good. And he came and he was shit for us
He's
for
not
many
shit.
years.
He's
What are you
at
guys
best
arguing? If you
at
don't want
worst
to
he's
play this-
at worst he's average. He's not shit. Stop calling
These guys
people
go
shit.
to YouTube. We're linked with Sesko, right? Sesko
Yeah,
compilations. Let me see.
compilations.
That's what they
Yeah,
do.
there you go.
I
Yeah.
dare you ask them how
He's
many
not
Leipzig
shit,
games you
bro.
guys
Why-
watched.
why-
in
why-
the last
why
2-3
don't you-
months.
why
You
don't
don't watch
you
Leipzig
watch-
Kiva. You
why
don't
don't
watch
you watch
Leipzig Kiva. You don't watch
consistent
Leipzig
Leipzig
Kiva.
games?
Shut up.
Fucking
Bro,
stupid,
this
bro.
guy watches Mönchengladbach on a regular. Don't you think
He
he
doesn't
watches
watch
Red Bull?
Leipzig. TK, I know the guy, but I know the guy
I don't
personally. By
watch
the way,
them on a weekly
TK,
basis.
TK, I know the
watch
guy
them when they play
personally. He doesn't
Leverkusen.
watch.
I watch
Leipzig.
them when they play Mönchengladbach. I've watched them more than you. He isn't that kind of striker you think he is.
Yeah,
It's
listen,
stupid.
you might- listen,
So I mentioned. So
You
I
don't
mentioned.
watch a player
I
to say I
mentioned
didn't
a
watch a
few.
player. That's it.
I mentioned.
You
I
don't watch
mentioned.
him either. We don't want to
Sad,
let you
you
do
things that
what
you
you
do
do.
that.
You don't watch him
Sad,
either.
Can you guys?
Sad. Remember when you told me 2 years ago that Gyokeres, or a year ago, Gyokeres is amazing. What did I tell you? I told you, hey, I don't watch him. If you think he's good, fair enough. I didn't give you an opinion. You said you watched him at Coventry. I said, okay, fair enough. Don't have an opinion on a player you haven't watched.
But
what
I'm
mean.
not having. I'm not. Personally, for me, I have watched a couple of games of him. I've watched a few games, like maybe a handful, but I've not watched everything. I still, just from those handful of games, I'm still saying that he's raw. You man are acting like I'm sitting here saying Sesko is the truth. Sesko is this. He should come to the club.
No, but they're wrong
But,
for calling
but
him shit,
I think
guys.
saying
They're wrong for that.
saying shit is way.
Yes,
I think
it's
it's a
guys,
bit of a-
Sad,
when we
sad,
mean
sad.
shit-
Okay, Ashraf,
like-
before you say this, yeah? Ashraf, before you say this, sad.
it's mad.
You and I.
And
had
for
this
the, and hold on,
conversation.
hold on.
Listen,
For the
listen,
guy,
listen.
hold on. Let me just say it for the chat. Then 1 second. For the chat, for the people who are saying, listen, Hussam and Ilyas, guys, relax. I'm gonna answer Hussam's question. We're gonna get to Wirtz. Yeah, just relax. Let me run the show, please. Please, ya
No,
Habibi.
he's
I'll
saying,
run
he's
the
saying
show.
the question.
It's fine.
He's saying the
about
question
Berta.
about Sesko, yeah, Habibi. He's saying the question
Also,
about
Yeah,
he's
Sesko.
saying
Hussam,
Berta. What
Hussam,
about
I
Okay,
Berta?
said that.
Question.
Hussam, I started off the
Start,
stream by
start.
saying.
Anyway,
point
let-
have
No, no,
let's
no.
let-
Before you go,
let's
Solz,
let-
I just want to say one thing. I
let's
want to say
let
one
let
thing.
T land. Let's let T land.
I just want to say one thing.
I'll
You and
answer.
I, 1 year ago, exactly, or almost, we had this conversation before when we were linked with Zirkzee and with Sesko. And I told you I prefer Zirkzee because I think Sesko is absolute crap. This guy cannot, if he hits the target, he shoots straight at the keeper, or he shoots way out of the target. You know what I'm saying? This guy cannot shoot. He's not a finisher. This guy is not a natural finisher. He's an awkward finisher that cannot bring consistency.
Did you
Yes,
raise
he can.
Xerxes?
At the time when he was at Bologna, yes, he was good.
Oh, so if we were linked to him, you would have recommended us to sign Xerxes?
Between the two, yes, I would have much rather
No,
gone for
to get
35 million
Sesko, I mean,
Zirkzee
do you rate
than
Xerxes
Sesko, yeah.
as a link? Would you have signed him for Arsenal as a standalone link?
I mean, considering the fact that we played Merino up top, yes, I would have signed
Because
Zirkzee
that
back
was a
then.
stinker. Because I think Xerxes fucking shit, like pony.
Okay.
He's one of the worst.
Yeah,
players.
yeah, and
but
Sesko's worse.
you just
That's,
judge
that's
it.
what real shit is. That's what shit is.
But that's the
Xerxes.
problem with you. That's the problem with you. You just interrupt and bring blanket statements without any context. You know what I'm saying? You base your opinion based on what you've seen at Manchester United. Is Pogba a shit player because he was not good at United? You know what I'm saying? Don't act
was
like
good at
United
United.
doesn't kill players. Every player that goes there, they kill him.
Pogba was
You know
good,
what I'm saying?
but
It's that
Pogba was
simple.
good
And
for Tottenham,
Zirkzee is one of those players that just goes to a club that kills him. It's that simple. United are crap. They need a whole new rebuild, and every player that goes there turns into shit. It's that simple. You know what I'm saying? When we compare a 35 million Zirkzee to a 60 million back in the day for Sesko, the deal for Zirkzee is much better than the Sesko deal because back then Sesko was even 19, bro.
I think you guys listen. You guys, you and T, yeah, sorry, T, you and Ash, you guys watch the league. Do you know what I mean? Consistently, yeah. The only team, no. Hold on. The only player, and I said this on Ahwa, yeah. The only player that I can consistently give, like a proper opinion on in the Bundesliga properly, is Wirtz. And the reason why is because Ash pissed me off last season, yeah, during the unbeaten season, where he said, "You don't watch Bayer Leverkusen games." So I just sat there watching every single game. So every time he said something, I know everything that happened, bro. But that's the only team I really watch. I haven't watched enough of Sesko for me to say he's shit or he's good. All I'm saying
Guys,
is
I think T and I.
the point is but still, the point is still
This guy
this.
wants to talk all the time.
I don't know, but Ashraf, while I've been silent for the last 10-15 minutes, you've been watching.
I just wanted to say one other thing.
Yeah,
the problem is,
go.
you guys are. By the way, when T and I say shit, we don't mean like shit as in we are better footballers than him. Obviously, he's a professional footballer. When we say shit, we mean compared to the standards that Arsenal need. Right? That's what we're trying to say. We shouldn't be going
right now. Well, right now we have Jesus and Moreno, so we have no standards at Arsenal by the looks of it, and have
yes.
So.
And if depends what our aim is. If our aim is to win the league next season, we have to upgrade on. We have to upgrade on them, not just upgrade on them. That's not enough because there is a level here where Havertz and Jesus are. Everything here doesn't win you shit. It's the exact same place. You need to go to the next tier, which is a Gyokeres or Semen or Isak. Isak is even a higher level, in my opinion. Saying Sesko is shit compared to these options.
Yeah,
I don't know if
that's
makes
fine. No, that's fair. So I actually agree with that point. That I agree with everything you said there about Sesko and about that we shouldn't sign him. We need a bigger upgrade. Gyokeres the man. The point why I'm so triggered, guys, is that I don't understand what is the point of having Andrea Berta as a sporting director if he's not making the main decision. The only thing that could convince me now is either one of two options. Either TK's right and you're right, that Berta is now useless and Arteta is making the calls, or maybe
I have a pretty good track record.
No, I agree. I agree. That's one option. Or the other option is maybe Berta is aligned with the fact that now Arteta's convinced him that
do the super chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do
No
it.
chance.
I don't
No
think that's
chance.
true because this guy
I know,
said
I know.
no.
Yeah.
This guy
I
said
don't
no to
think so either.
Simeone. Do you really
I
think he
know,
cannot
I
And
say
who
know.
the
no
hell
to
is
Arteta,
Arteta
bro?
compared to Simeone?
I'm just giving an alternative point, but why I'm triggered is that the main goal of a sporting director is to scout, make the decisions, and bring the right people in for the club. And now it just seems like another Edu situation where they're tagging along with Arteta. It becomes a joint thing, me and him. We're going to decide, but really, we all know who wants to play. It's Arteta's main target.
Guys,
Everyone-
all I want to not happen for the sake of all your sanity, right, is if we do sign Sesko, remember what you guys said a few weeks ago, a few months ago, when we all said he's not good enough. This happens to all fans because we're all emotional. When we see we're linked, wait. Let me tell you what I'm gonna say. Because we get linked to someone, even if we know they're not good enough, as fans, we try to see the good that could come out of it. We did that with Sterling for a little bit last season. We're like, but he's better than Reece Nelson currently, right? He must be better than Reece Nelson.
You
We
said
did that with
Yeah,
Havertz.
I didn't. You said
Yes,
that.
yes. And by the way, I'm not saying I'm targeting all of us. That's why I said all of us. I'm not saying I'm flawless. We did that with Sterling. We did that with Havertz. We did that with many players where we try to justify. We need to learn from our mistakes. If we sign players that are below the level of what we need to win the Premier League or Champions League, that should never change your opinion.
Yeah, I
Unless those
agree.
players, like if Sesko comes in and bangs 20 goals in the Premier League in his first season, 100% I'll put my hand up and say, damn, I was wrong.
But
I don't see him doing that.
But it's a disaster now because we're linked with Sesko. Arteta is making the calls. Liverpool have signed Florian.
So-
about
so-
to sign Florian
So,
Wirtz.
We're
I
gonna
wanna-
get. I got a question. I got a question to ask for you guys. Yeah,
Mm.
'Cause I actually want to have this conversation now. I actually want to have this conversation real quick. If we sign Sesko, what is the point of Berta? What is the point of having a sporting director like Andrea Berta? What's the
It's-
point of having somebody like this if he's not? And
Saj,
by the way,
it's
let me-
like-
before hold on, before we answer that, because I know you guys are about to jump. 1 second. Before we answer that, big up to Tommy for the super chat. A West Ham fan saying, Saad, can I come on for 10 minutes and debate Solz about Arteta? Because respectfully, he talks a lot of shit. Big up.
Sorry, Tommy, you can't debate me at all about nothing. You can never debate me in your life. I'll silence you in 2 minutes. You can't say nothing. You can come on the channel if you want to come and talk. No, you have nothing. There's nothing you can say to me about nothing. Okay. So yeah, that's fine. But, my points are very clear.
At least thank him for the super chat, Souls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. Wallahi, say thank you for the super chat, bro. Wallah, haram alik, bro. You don't even say thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for the super chat as well, even though I'm not.
Thank you for the super chat, but
Listen.
fuck you.
Big up, listen, Tommy. Wallahi. Hey, listen, Tommy. Big up. Unfortunately, it's a closed panel, bro. Honestly, unfortunately, it's a closed. I wish I could. Maybe one day, we'll do like a call-in show where I can just get Souls in here to just debate hella people that just come in. But I don't know if that's gonna happen in the future. But he obviously says, big up the panel. Big up Arteta, come on you irons, all of that good stuff. And yeah, listen, big up to you.
Bro, imagine even a West Ham fan is bigging up Arteta, bro. There you go. You know
I don't know what's going on.
There you go, bro.
Bro, it's moving brazy. It's moving brazy. When Tommy's saying big up
But to
Arteta,
answer your question, Saad,
yeah, go ahead. I just need you guys to answer this question.
Yeah,
What
so to answer the question very simply.
Andrea Berta now?
Actually, you know what?
I have an answer for that.
Sammy start. I'll let Sammy start because he hasn't spoken a lot. Go on, Sam.
Honestly, guys, in the past 5 years that we witnessed Arteta, we all jumped into the hype that Arsenal are getting somewhere. We saw the progression, as Ash likes to say, that we started.
did?
We did. I'm saying we did. And I did as well. I was supporting Arteta at that moment, but now, we are trading in very dangerous waters where there's a culture that is developing in Arsenal. It turns out to be a one-man show where Arteta is running everything, and that's a huge problem for me. You can see it in the pitch, you can see it on the players' faces. There was a show 2 days ago. I think Don Potts was doing that show, the Arsenal roundabout with Lee Gunner and the others, and they were mentioning this part where Arteta is running everything, and I think they are right. You can see that Arteta is making all the decisions. He's making the transfer market decisions. He's micromanaging the players in the game itself. You don't feel, there's a huge regressions in a lot of players like Martinelli. Odegaard fell as well. There's a lot of signs that says that Arteta is taking a lot and doing a lot, and he wants to run this club as a one-man show, and it's not working. This is not a model that works. You need all you need all the resources. If you have somebody who's elite like Berta, you need to let him cook. You need to let him do his job, and not to interfere there. Do your job. Do your play. You know how to coach. Okay, then do that part. Don't interfere in the transfer market. Don't keep saying I want this player or that player. Berta knows how to select players. I mean, I don't think the Carnegies brought him here just to fuck around. I mean, and that's the whole thing. And 5 years, 6 years now, and this culture that developed inside the club. I'm not saying from outside, because this is where we look at as fans from outside. Inside the club, I think this is a manifestation of a one-man show, and I think this is a very, very dangerous thing. And Arteta will die on that hill if something doesn't change.
Yeah,
but that goes back to what I said when the Havertz transfer happened, Sammy. Yeah. And when people tried to blame the board and said, "Oh, but they didn't back Arteta, they didn't do this, they didn't do that."
They did, man.
You know how many times Arteta said exactly what the people blamed the board for. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't need a striker. We have internal solutions. Oh, we have Kai, we have Gabi, aka Gabriel Jesus. You know what I'm saying? He said all of these things, and all of the things that the fans or a lot of top gooners even who want to protect Arteta, they blamed the board for that. And they said, oh, they let Arteta down. No, Arteta let himself down. That's the biggest issue at this moment in time. Because if the board can say no to Arteta and cut him off straight away, then why did we buy Havertz in the first week of the transfer window of last year? The first week, I think that is our fastest transfer in history. I think. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we ever signed someone faster than we signed.
Yeah, they wrapped it up quite fast. Yeah,
very fast. In the first week, we got him, and that was a Arteta signing. That was purely an Arteta signing. You know what I'm saying? Reports came out afterwards that Edu and them man didn't even want Havertz, but Arteta persisted on having Havertz, and what happened? They got Havertz, and that's the moment where I said, "Bro, this guy has too much say in what's going on." I understand why Edu left, because this guy is literally running the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? And this was 1 year ago when I said all of this, bro. And now we can see it in 4K. We got an elite sporting director. We got an elite sporting director, and we're still letting this novice, run the whole show. So that's the biggest issue.
But TK, even if what you're saying, look, even if I agree with some stuff, I disagree with some stuff. I'm talking about what Sammy said. But even if what you're saying is all correct, what it seems like now is you guys are saying, we are letting this novice, we are letting this guy have too much power. It's not we, the board are. So really now the anger is...
When I say we, I mean Arsenal.
I know
that's how I talk.
But Arsenal are the board. So really we need to start we need to start pinpointing who is to blame here, if what you're saying is correct. I'm
sorry, but so
hold on.
You're refusing to blame Arteta.
No, bro, you can only blame an idiot for so long until you start looking at the people that are leaving the idiot there. Stop.
Okay, then why? I agree with you. I agree with you to blame the board. But why are you blaming the board?
I've spoken to some Arsenal fans that say, I want Arteta out. I want the board out as well for even leaving this guy in here, because Arteta is there. But ultimately, guys, those are great examples. I agree with this. I disagree that Arteta. Look, I think Arteta is to blame for if we go and get Sesko in the end, because it's the wrong target.
I need to go pray, guys. Yeah.
Don't you think he needs to back off a little bit, Solz? Like, hey,
bro, listen. Look, I don't work in the club, so I don't know what the conversations are happening behind.
It's obvious. It's obvious that he's pushing. He's pushing for this signing. He needs to back off from it. He's like, I have to trust that Berta will get me what I need.
No, he doesn't need to back up. He needs to understand what's right.
Not back up, back off.
But he doesn't need to back off. He needs to understand what's right and what isn't. Why is Arteta seeing something that we're not seeing in Gyokeres? What is it? So that's my question here. It's not Arteta back off and let Berta. For me, a sporting director comes to a club to make the decisions on the recruitment. If you bring in a sporting director and let the manager overrule the sporting director's opinions, what is the point, Yani, of having a sporting director? It's that simple.
Solz, where your argument falls is because you are basically admitting that Arteta is someone with a big ego that's going against the sporting
director. I'm not saying he has a big ego. No. I will never go.
Okay, fine.
Indirectly.
I'm not gonna.
Indirectly, when you say
about manager's personality, I don't know him personally. He's
indirectly when you say something like this manager is pushing to get a player, when the sporting director doesn't want him and wants something else. That's ego. Whether you like to
No.
sugarcoat it or
By
not,
the
you can
way,
do
by the way,
it.
you can do
your
not
woke
wants him.
nonsense.
He not only not wants him, he doesn't even have him on his list. Arteta
Okay,
at least
exactly.
had
okay,
Arteta
okay,
at
by the
least
way-
had Gyokeres on his list, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's true. But
You can do
Arteta-
the- you can do the-
but hold on.
Solz,
But
let me
that-
rebuttal.
No, just one thing, Ashraf. Arteta came in 2023 or 2022 to an estate in London because his kids were playing in a tournament where my friend was living, and I was actually at my friend's house. I've actually met Arteta personally, and when I met Arteta, and when I met,
I
and when
met
I
him
met
as well. Now what?
No,
Now,
okay,
okay, that
now-
explains
now
a lot,
everything-
man.
now everything
No,
comes
let me
forward.
speak.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let me
man.
speak.
Yeah, man.
Can I
Now
speak?
I
Keep talking.
understand.
Can I
Okay,
speak?
okay, Solz.
Keep
Okay,
talking.
I've met Arteta personally, and I've
Mhm.
met him in Rowley Way in London when he was there for the football tournament, and he was a nice guy, humble guy, very accommodating to everyone. Was
Oh.
never didn't present any egos. Was happy to talk to any fans that were there, anyone that was there.
Okay, okay.
The person, he's a lovely guy. So I'm never gonna sit here and say this guy's got an ego and he's a prick and this is that. I'm not
Solz,
gonna
you
attack anyone
cannot be
personally.
that naive.
I
I
will
mean,
criticize.
give me 15 million a year, I'll
And
be the
I've
happiest
also-
man alive.
And I've
bro, you know
also,
what I'm
and
saying?
I've also, and Wallah on the Quran, and Wallah on the Quran, I've also spoken. I've spoken to multiple Arsenal players, by the way, because I've spoken to Arsenal players and previous Arsenal players that have played under Arteta, and the feedback has always been that Arteta is a great manager, great coach, and he does well.
You
So
are
I'm not
smart
gonna-
enough to
I'm not-
understand if a manager takes care of players and treats them well and all that kind of stuff, they will obviously say good things about him. Doesn't mean he doesn't have an ego. When a manager is saying, I want Havertz or I want Sesko and is throwing tantrums and pushing to get his player, that is ego. You might try to have your woke nonsense of, I don't want to ever insult anyone, but I don't care about that shit. Bro, we're not woke shit here. The reality
I
is,
actually met him.
reality
He's
is-
a very nice guy.
I met him and he
He's very soft hands. You know what I'm saying?
I listen.
Don't do that, bro.
Let me land. My point is,
That's
my
you.
point is,
That's you, Solz.
when there is a manager that is that egoistic and that is trying to push his weight that much, to come later and say, he's doing this wrong and doing this wrong, but I don't want him sacked, is stupid. Because the reality is, even if the ownership come and take it away from him and say, Arteta, you don't get to say anymore, it's not up to you, that kind of egoistic manager will not let it go on the pitch. I'm not going to go as far as Sammy and say he's not going to win on purpose. I don't think any manager would ever do that.
Yeah, that's
But-
just crap.
But wait. But he is going to play a certain system that might not work for our team. I guarantee if he gets Gyokeres, he's still going to try and push Havertz somehow to play with Gyokeres.
Ashraf, it's his
That-
system. How can you tell the manager what to do with his own system? He created it.
By being an expert, in what you do, look at the system and find the right targets. That's what a sporting director does, bro.
No,
You
I
know
know,
what I'm
but what
I guarantee you,
all I'm saying
I
is-
can criticize the manager.
Listen,
I
You
can
didn't let me land.
criticize the
You didn't let me
manager.
land.
Speaking
You didn't let
about
me land.
okay, can I say one thing? Speaking about Liverpool and Hossam and blah blah blah. You know what Hossam also said? When Edwards was there, the Klopp wanted two players, aka
Götze and
Julian
Brandt.
Brandt and Götze, and they bought Mane and Salah at the end. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
By listening to Edwards. Surely you need to listen to Berta more. That's his comment. You know what I'm saying?
And that's my point, T.
The reason
Go
why Edwards also left is because he couldn't work with Klopp because Klopp wanted too much say. You know what I'm saying? He went away and Klopp bought Nunes. You know what I'm saying?
And their club went like this.
And their club
went
went like
down.
this. Are we listening to this? Yeah. And this is not me slating Klopp. This is me saying, if you're an expert at something, do that instead of doing the other stuff that you're not
And
as
T,
good at. You know what I'm saying?
There's another
Completely agree.
example.
Don't-
Man City is the same. Pep doesn't pick the players. Pep says, I want a profile. They go and decide which player
But
fits
Ash,
that profile.
but this is,
and
but
he
this
will
is
take
what-
that player
but
and
Ash,
coach.
Ash,
Sorry,
this
Sami,
is
I'll
what-
just end on this.
no, this is what Solz wanted to say, right? That's you need to blame the board as well, not only
No,
because the
no,
board,
you're
because the
missing my
board
point,
can,
Sami.
because the board can interfere and say
Sami, I do blame the board, but the only thing I blame the board for is not making the right decision by either removing the power from Arteta or actually sacking him. I think he should be sacked.
But that's the
But-
whole point.
but-
That's your whole
but-
argument.
But I can
all the blame.
wait, no, shut up and let me land because you keep cutting me off. I do blame them for that, and I think they are at fault for
Yes.
not sacking him. But I'm also saying they should sack him. Solz is saying Arteta's doing this wrong. The board is wrong. But I will not sack Arteta because I still think that for me
because
makes
he
no
has soft
sense.
hands. I touched his
No,
hand
soft
when I met
hands, I
him.
met
You know
him.
what I'm saying?
الله
That's-
مبروك عليك اف كي رجعتي لينا يا اف كي رجعتي.
What
Are you
Ashraf
back? Yeah,
wants
big up FK. Yeah, you're back. I don't know where you disappeared. Hold on. FK, I don't know. Hold on. Habibi, hold on, man. FK, I don't know where you disappeared to. Yeah, I don't know where you disappeared to. But big up, we welcome you back with open arms.
Okay,
Big up.
TK, what Ashraf's not understanding, which is what I think he fails to comprehend, is that I can criticize Arteta for making the wrong judgment on a recruitment call. I can criticize Arteta for his tactical substitutions in big games this season. I can criticize Arteta on his defensive style of play that shouldn't have happened going into second half of games. I can criticize Arteta on all the things that you guys can criticize Arteta on. The
But make
difference
no
is,
logical.
the difference is
But have no logic.
when I think about sacking a manager, to me, I go, this manager cannot take us to what I want my club to get to, and I don't believe that, because even though he's even though he hasn't succeeded in his recruitment choices, even though he's got maybe a bit more power than maybe the board can have all the board have to do is have one conversation for 1 hour, and Arteta's power is gone overnight. So the power situation has to be on the board. Arteta is to fault, but I can criticize a manager and still say that I believe, based on what I've seen in how he's built teams, based on him getting us 2 points behind winning a Premier League title, took us to our highest league finish since the Invincibles, took us to our best UCL campaign in the last decade. Based on what I've seen, what the manager's done, taking us to the elite, I believe with some offensive changes up front, he can take us to winning a major honor.
Let's dig in deeper.
If that's the only thing that he did, fair enough. But he's doing more than only that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, and that's why.
What do you mean? What do you mean more than only that?
That's what I was gonna ask him.
You are saying I like Arteta's cooking. So I like his rice. I like, you know what I'm saying, the way he cooks, basically. But this guy is not only trying to cook, he's trying to hire staff. This guy is trying to revamp the whole building by getting the paint for the walls and other stuff. You know what I'm saying? This guy is picking the tables and the chairs and blah blah blah. Bro, if you are a cook, go to the kitchen and cook. Don't fix the whole architect of the restaurant.
But hold on. Even that same argument.
No, sorry, Saad, I have to respond to that. TK, if the manager has too much power, look, here's where I see it. If I get into a relationship, I'm going to want to do, if I'm dating a woman, the woman's going to want to control everything. It's going to be up to me to have to go, you know what? It's going to be up to me.
And just bring up this comparison.
Yeah.
Bro, who cares, bro?
TK, let me
one has 60 goals, the other has 12 goals, bro. What are we doing?
But I just
let me land my point, guys. I'm landing a point. Come on.
Well, this XG and other stuff, bro. Allah, such bullshit, bro.
That's
I don't
fine.
even care
We'll get to the comment after.
I can only compare them in the Champions League.
Why you bring it up when I'm landing a point?
One second. For whatever reason, it doesn't give me the Portuguese league, right? But in the Champions League this season,
I love Solz, bro.
Gyokeres killed him in most stats.
Can we just?
That's not
Ash. 1 second. I'm removing it. 1 second. Can we? Ash, can we? I want to do that after. I just want Solz to land his point because I want to.
No, but here's the problem.
Why are you
gonna land? No.
Stop. Let me land my point.
Solz is going to land. Solz is going to land. Yeah, wallah, on my life you will. Solz is going to land, but we're not playing this childish game because I'm going to respond to him, and then he's going to shut up, and we're going to move to the next thing.
That's fine.
Last day.
The point.
Let's go.
The point that I'm saying to, and by the way, he's saying he's going to respond to me. I'm not even. I'm not even talking to him. I'm talking to TK. So you can do what you like.
I'm gonna respond to you regardless.
I don't care what you're going to do. What you like.
Yalla. Just land.
The point that I'm making is that if a manager goes into power, any manager who's in a position of power is going to want to do everything. He's going to want to take a yard and run a mile. It's up to the people that employ him to set the guidelines and limitations. On everything else, I blame Arteta. Tactics, substitutions.
So Arteta has no brain. He cannot say, you know what, guys,
No,
after 3 years of challenging, I feel
not
like
that.
I
It's
need to
not.
focus only on the coaching.
No,
Let
it's not
Berta do the rest.
that. It's
He
not
can
that.
say that
It's
himself as well, bro.
TK, if I was Arsenal manager tomorrow and I came out and said, actually, you know what? And you're managing a
God
team,
forbid.
every season. If you're coaching a team every season,
5-0
TK,
every game.
you're gonna think you know what the club wants. It's up to the people that are above you, like the sporting director and the board, to set the limitation on how much power you have.
But
I
you know what the
I
difference
can
is?
blame,
You know what
I
the
can
difference is,
blame
Solz?
Arteta for everything. I will never blame him.
You know
We
what the
said that,
difference is,
Solz.
Solz?
We said that.
Even when I am an expert at what I do, if I bring someone else who has more experience, more you know what I'm saying, has a bigger CV than me, and I know personally that knows this business better than me, I will still accept feedback and listen to what this person has to
He
say.
has accepted
This
feedback, but he said
no, he
no.
didn't.
I
He
hear your
didn't
feedback.
because
No.
he
He
still
heard this
said
feedback. I
he
don't care
said
about
to
that
you.
Solz,
He,
let him
you know what
finish.
you know what he said. You know what Arteta said to Berta. He said, "I don't care that you have Gyokeres at number 1 in your list. I still want Sesko. Even though you don't have Sesko on your list, I still want Sesko." You know what I'm saying? That's basically the same equivalent as Edwards staying at Liverpool, and then Klopp saying, "You know what? I'm still gonna buy Nunes. Fuck you, Edwards. I don't care what you have to say." You know what
Okay,
I'm
so
saying?
how do you
That's
know,
basically
TK?
what's
How
going
do you
on,
know,
bro.
TK? Okay, TK, so how do you know the conversation?
Saad, when will I be able to respond?
Wait, hold on, TK. How do you know the
Ah.
conversation wasn't? How do you know the conversation wasn't?
Then you will say, let him land.
Berta said to Arteta, go. I think we should sign Gyokeres. Arteta said, but I want
Landing to
Sesko.
Marsh, you know.
but I want Sesko. How do you know? Berta didn't say to Arteta, even though I think Gyokeres is right. If you think Sesko is the right man, we'll go with your recommendation. How do you know it wasn't that? Instead of no, I don't want
Because
might have been.
because
might have
he
been
Based on the
because this guy has said
might be-
no to Simeone in his life. Do you really think he cannot say no to Arteta unless in his contract it says you need to listen to Arteta full stop? Then okay, I understand.
And he
I
wouldn't
don't think
he wouldn't have
wouldn't
taken the
taken that
job if that's
contract.
the case.
He wouldn't
100%.
have taken the job. But-
The reality is, right? First of all, as T said, it's correct. If Arteta is truly the guy who's like, we want to win, we want to do this, he would shut up and focus on the coaching, right? And leave the transfers to people who know how to do it. That is also on him. Yes, 100% you blame the board for not firing him, not taking the power, firing him, right?
taking the power away, saying limitations.
No, firing him because he's not good enough.
Saying
Which
limitations.
brings me
He's an
to my
employee.
second point. Bro, please stop. Don't cut me off. I'm finishing this and then we're
Such a
done. And we're moving
rubbish
to the next
point,
point.
Dad. Honestly, I can't believe
The
what
the
this guy-
second thing is, and you know what, this guy's a waffler. The way you know this guy's a waffler, and this is how he
Stop
always gets
using-
pressed on
stop
these
using
things,
terms.
is he will say dumb shit like, I blame Arteta for the coaching and the tactics and the substitutions and the recruitment and this and that and this and that. So he will name all these things. How are these things going to get fixed next season? So even if power is taken away from him, even if power is taken away from him, and he's just asked, Coach Arteta, go coach. His coaching cost us games.
No, it didn't. He's a good coach. His coaching.
Can you
His
let someone
coaching
else
took
talk?
us to our best
The way
league finish
panel
since the
works-
Invincibles.
The way
Shut
panel
your mouth.
works
What are you
is
talking
you shut
about?
up and you let others talk.
His coaching
His
took us to our
coaching-
best league finish since the Invincibles.
Solz, please shut up and
What
let
are
me
you
land.
talking about?
Shut up and let me land. You will know where
Can
I'm
we
going with
just,
this.
guys? Can we
Allah,
just?
this guy has no ball knowledge. Zero ball
Okay,
knowledge.
can we have some decorum? Can we have some decorum, guys? One by
Wallahi,
one.
The reality
wallahi.
is,
You know what I'm saying?
his coaching has affected us this game and cost us the game. I never once said he's a shit coach. I've said many times he's a good manager. He's not good enough to take us to the league. You know why? Because next season, Arteta is not running by himself. There are other teams who are challenging. If Arteta is managing Bayern in Bundesliga, he'll probably win the league. If he's managing PSG in Liga, he'll win the league. If he's managing Barca or Real Madrid in La Liga, he might win the league. He is going up against, in the strongest league, or one of the strongest leagues, against two giants who are going to be cooking next season, and it's going to have to go neck to neck with them, right? The reality is his coaching, as good as it's been, that got us to our most points into Invincibles, a lot of BS, it's not good enough to win us a league, because now next season he can get 90 points. I won't be shocked. I think he can get 90 points next season. I still think he can get 90 points and fail, because when it comes to a title race, going up against City, against Liverpool, I don't mean head-to-head in their matches. I mean title race against them where you have to win 10, 15 games in a row. They have proven they can do it. We haven't. And Arteta's coaching this season against Everton, against Fulham, against Villa when we bottled a 2-goal lead, against West Ham when we lost at home, against Newcastle away when we didn't lay a glove on them, against Brighton away from home. And yes, I know they had a dubious penalty, but we played like shit the whole game. These are games we drop points in, and it had
Disagree with
nothing
me.
to do. It
You
had nothing
disagree
to do
with
with. No, I don't.
Yes,
These are
you
games
did.
we drop points in. It had nothing to do with injuries. Had nothing
Yes.
to do with red cards, and we didn't even play well. We didn't even play well and drop points. We played like shit and drop points. So even if recruitment changes and a new manager, and players come in and Arteta's like, sit the hell down, we're gonna take care of the transfers. His tactics and coaching is not gonna suddenly change. Now it is good enough to win us the league if City and Liverpool are both dead next season. And we only go up against United, Chelsea, and Newcastle. But they won't be, exactly.
Yeah,
So because they won't be, we need a new manager to come in and compete with these guys head to head. And to answer this question, because Marco, I don't want to disrespect you. You've asked this question many times in the comments, so I'm not going to ignore it. You said, I'll actually bring up your previous comment because that was a better question.
Now this guy's answering comments.
You said you wanting Arteta out is
wallah,
based on the
we need
progression
to-
argument. No, it's just this, wallah. I've always maintained this. Yes, if he progresses us, I will back him again. He didn't progress us this season. We progressed in the Champions League, I agree, but our regression in the league is bigger than the progression in the Champions League. Because
No, it isn't.
In the Champions League, we went a step further and we knocked out the champions. Yes, we slapped them. But our regression in the league was so damn bad.
How?
So damn bad because
How?
performances went down. I just mentioned, I explained it, and you just said you
We
mentioned.
stopped trying for the UCL. We stopped trying for the UCL. We stopped trying for the UCL.
Yeah, exactly. So let me land.
Just talk
See, you
about
won't
the,
use
The reality is,
the
the league this season we have regressed tremendously,
No,
right?
we haven't.
With the games we drop points in, the games where we bottled at 21 points this season from winning position. 21 points.
And we stopped
That is
trying for five of them.
massive,
And we stopped trying for five of those games.
massive. No. I'm talking about before that. We regressed tremendously. All those games I mentioned, by the way, earlier, which I mentioned in every stream, as Sol said, are games before we stopped trying. These are not games
You know
after
what?
we stopped trying.
I'll be
So that's
real,
reality.
guys.
It's not a
Listen,
good enough coach to win us.
I'll be real, guys. Listen, this was a good debate, but I think we need to move on to the next bit of the stream because we still need to speak about Wirtz. We still need to speak about
Do we have to, bro?
no, we do have to 100%, bro. 100% we do. But I want to do this. Obviously, don't you have a what's the other one? What's the other thing that you can bring up to compare the thing? There's another website.
This is Qualcomm, but
No, there's another Data MB. Don't they have Data MB, which you can compare the, or do you want to compare only the?
I've never tried it, to be honest. But anyways,
Champions
I'm
League.
just comparing them in Champions League. I don't think it's a bad comparison, anyways, because
Yeah, go ahead. Let's see.
in the end, it
Let's
is
have a
number
look.
of number
It's-
of games is
Did you
number
see
of
the
games is similar as well. Number
see
of
the
games is
break-
similar, so it's not like.
I mean,
Did you
it's a
see the
small
breaking
portion.
news on Rodrigo?
Sorry, Sami, what'd you say?
Yeah.
I'm saying it's a too
just saw it,
small
yeah.
number of games to compare.
What's the
it to.
breaking news on Rodrigo?
That we're not willing to pay 10 million a year for his salary. It's
Yeah,
proving
because we are
complicated.
pussy club.
Where
That's
is
what we are.
this? Where is this? Who put this up?
Let's go,
Pletico.
Plenty goal.
Oh, and
Wait,
by the
Saad,
way,
let me
do-
finish
do you
this.
guys-
Let me finish
Do
this.
you
and
guys
then
want
we'll-
do you guys want a fun fact in between? You know what I'm saying? While Saad is looking for the source. Did you guys know that Sesko has just as many GA in his respective league as, here it comes, McTominay.
McTominay is winning his team the Serie A right now.
No,
He
no.
scored
Conte
he scored a
is.
bicycle kick.
Conte is.
He scored a bicycle kick apparently.
Bro.
But yeah, my point is, so here's the numbers. Obviously, we're comparing them on Champions League, and if you look at the Champions League numbers, majority of them,
Wow.
Gyokeres is better. Conversion rate is higher. Assists, chances created, passes attempted, through balls, and both have played tough teams. Obviously,
Higher
through
by a
balls,
lot,
take
but higher
ons.
or is it similar? Or are you just
What?
doing one's higher? Is it higher by a lot or higher in what context? Contextualize
You
the higher.
can
The
see
higher.
it.
can see it in
see
front of
right
you, bro.
here. It's
Well,
in
I
front
can
of
see
you.
it. I can see it. So I'm asking you to contextualize. Don't just use the word higher.
Can you accept the cookies so we can move that out of the way, please? Oh my.
Yeah.
Yeah, yalla, bro.
He
yeah.
dropped the link.
I don't know why this
Saad,
is
for you,
moving
the
left.
You
source,
try and mute cookies anyway by the look of you.
or
What?
the tweet, whatever.
Well, I didn't
I'm
even hear
talking
what you
sad.
said.
I'm talking sad.
Conversion rate is much higher, 31 versus 26. Assists, I guess Sesko has 0. Chances created, much higher. Passes attempted is similar, through balls is better. Sesko attempts 0 through balls in the whole Champions League. He's attempted 0 through balls. Take-ons completed. Gyokeres completes more, but his take-on success is less, which means he attempts way more dribbles. Aerial duels, Sesko, but we don't need that. We have Havertz. Who gives a shit? Ground duels, Sesko. Ground duels, Sesko. Ground duel success is similar, but obviously it says Gyokeres. Sorry, ground duels is Gyokeres, and Gyokeres is much better, 9.3 versus 6.8. And then touches, because Boston actually said compare touches. Well, Gyokeres averages more touches per game, which and I understand why Boston asked for it, because our strikers should be involved in the game a lot more.
Yeah.
We don't have strikers who just camp. Well, guess what? Gyokeres involves himself in the game a lot more, and he loses the ball less than Sesko, but by a very small margin.
You know what? I think if the stats are backing it up, do you know what I mean? I really don't know what our problem is, man. I'll be real. And now obviously we're seeing this Rodrigo news where we're not willing to pay the 10 million a year salary. I'll be real, but when I see stuff like that, I have to ask the question, like, what did you truly expect? If you're going for top players, did you expect them to be on pennies, or like did you expect them to just come out like Gyokeres? Thankfully, he is gonna be on pennies. He's on like I think 70k or 60k right now, or not even that. I think at Sporting. If you sign him, you're probably gonna pay him like 200k a week or something like that. How much even is 10 million a week? How much even is that in salary? How much is 10 million a week? 210k a week.
We are not willing to pay him 75k less than Havertz.
10 million a week
per week.
Just divided by 52. Sad. It's 192,000.
So we give more money to Ødegaard, we give more
200K
money to Jesus, we give more money to Havertz. What are we doing here, bro? Like, what are we doing here, bro?
I think that's the bullshit, to be honest, to say that we cannot offer this money. I think this is complete bullshit.
105k. It's 105k apparently.
Guys, I just checked it. It's 10 million euros, not even pounds.
Oh wow!
So 190. So it's 192,000.
192. Yes, I just did
192,000 euros in pounds. Guys, that's 161,000 pounds.
I don't think this is the.
We are best.
Liverpool,
one of the best wingers in the world.
Liverpool are literally gonna buy a player with a package around 150, 200 mil, yeah, if you include his salary and all those stuff, you know what I'm saying, bro? And we are penny pinching with Rodrigo when we have the chance with Rodrigo.
It's a big problem, man.
Like what are we doing here? Gabriel Jesus, we didn't even
285, I think.
We didn't even resign Gabriel Jesus. The contract that he is on right now, that is the first ever contract that we gave him, and he earns 265, bro, and that's 65k a week less than what Rodrigo wants, bro.
You can't believe the report. Arsenal are not going to say no to Rodrigo for 160k a week. Come on, it must be some sort of false report.
It's Florian Plattenberg, bro. He's very reliable, bro.
I know,
he's reliable. He's been talking, like, he's been giving, like, he just broke the Jonathan Tah one and said that's all done. He's also broke the news about the Wirtz deal, like.
I mean, there must be something wrong then, because 160k a week is the average cost for a top player so it must be something. So it must be another reason why then. But
Zinchenko is on 150, bro. What you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? I'll be so real. Bro. I don't know.
On the day Liverpool signed bloody Wirtz, we're now hearing that we don't want to pay 10 million a year for Rodrigo. Like, honestly,
you know what? This is mad. It's mad. Listen, the fact is, it's mad, and if this ends up being the case that we didn't want to pay that money.
I don't think that's the case.
Listen, we don't know because it's one reporter that's reporting this.
Yeah, see, Basami, it sounds like you're saying it's not the case, because again, if it is the case, this is the one thing you can't blame on Arteta. They don't want to.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's not blaming on Arteta. That's blaming on the board. 100%. That's going to be blaming on.
Yeah,
the
they need to greenlight
But-
it. Look, any player you're gonna look for in Europe, the caliber of Rodrigo is not gonna cost you any less.
Yeah, I don't think
it's
Arteta.
really not.
I don't think
Guys, can I
Arteta
ask
picks
you-
the salary. He just picks the player.
Yeah, yeah. But can I
and
ask you
picks
guys a
target, not
question?
salary.
Do you guys think if Arteta says, I really want Rodrigo and he pushes for it, they don't pay the salary he wants?
I think he will. They will.
Exactly.
will.
Which means Arteta's not pushing for that player
But
enough.
indirectly,
Because-
she said he wants him. You remember if they asked
Well,
him
you know-
about
you
Rodrigo,
know what- you know
they
why?
asked him about Rodrigo.
He didn't agree. He didn't say that like that.
Yeah, he didn't say it. Yes, I want this player, but he said, okay, if we're gonna challenge in the league, we need to have the best players in the world. I mean, and
Yeah,
that's,
best place in
and
the world
that's-
doesn't mean he thinks Rodrigo
I
is that.
understand, but
He
the
might think
question
Nico
was-
Williams is the
question-
best in the world.
I understand. The question was about Rodrigo specifically, right? But he gave that answer. Okay, which means that he
Exactly.
maybe that means he rates Rodrigo. That's
Are they saying it's
No.
net? Are they saying it's net?
Yeah, I just read it. It's like it's 310k. It's 310k a week.
Okay, so that
It
is
is high.
a bit
It is
more.
high.
It is a
It
bit
is
more.
high.
that's
That's still not mad though. That's
no,
still not mad.
Yeah,
No,
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 it's
high.
still
It is high. It's
No,
on
no,
high
what do you expect if you buy Rodrigo, bro?
It's-
Do you want him to give Zinchenko a salary, bro?
I know, I agree. I knew,
It's,
but
it's,
no,
it's definitely
no, I'd say for me, even at 150, if it was 150, I think he's worth 250. But I think, look, even though I think he's worth 250, over 300k a week is on the higher end, but it's worth it for him. It's a high salary, but it's worth it for
Yeah.
him. But I also understand in a summer where Arsenal want to get maybe Zubamendi, they want to get Gyokeres or Sesko, they want to get loads of players.
So this is where you need to offload some players. I hear that Arsenal wants to renew with Trossard. I really that news
That's
alone
the thing.
bugs the
Like,
fuck out of me. What do you mean you want
That's
to
what
Trossard?
confuses me. Why are you saying first you say okay, we can't pay the transfer fee, but then I'm hearing that you want to renew and you don't want Martinelli to leave and you don't want
You know what?
where are these guys gonna play, bro?
I don't know.
Ernie, where are these guys gonna play, bro?
Big up
No idea,
CFC
man.
Ilias as well for picking that out because we're all stupid sitting there going, why do you want to pay 150k a week? We're so donuts. Speaking, I knew anyway we're stupid because
Bro,
no club's gonna reject 150k a week for a player.
I'll be real, bro. I'm listen, I'm losing.
Do you know what? Do you know what it works out as? I just saw a tweet from Pletigo's not Pletigo, the other guy. It's basically proven to be 365k a week. That's high.
Listen, I think he's still worth that
360
money.
is high.
I still
That'll
think he's
make
worth
him-
that
no,
money.
he's not. 360k will make him the highest paid player in the Prem. After now, De Bruyne is leaving.
So guys,
That's
who
not
do
true.
you think,
Salah is on 400.
Who?
Salah.
Yeah.
Oh, now the new contract, yeah.
And Van Dijk. And Van
Yeah.
Dijk.
No, I didn't
Yeah.
count the new Salah and DVD contract. But I
Guys,
mean,
Speaking of
I want to ask this question Sam, for you and the panel. Who do you think we need to offload from Arsenal this season to next
there's a
season?
long
oh
list.
my God, there's a long list.
there's a-
We have a small squad, so
I'll
There's
start
a
with
long
defense.
list.
Zinchenko, who I want to offload. Yes, Zinchenko.
That crybaby bitch.
Zinchenko, Tomiyasu, Kiwior,
Kiwior.
Sterling. Yeah, Kiwior, Sterling. Obviously, Reece Nelson's coming back. Offload him. Tavares is coming back. Offload him. Kai
think Tavares-
Havertz, Martinelli, Trossard. But basically, it's easier to say who I want to keep. Who I want to keep is Nwaneri, Saka, Odegaard, Partey, Rice,
Saliba and Gabriel probably.
Saliba and Gabriel. That's it.
Guys,
And-
I have
and
bad news
Timber,
for you
and
guys.
Timber.
The reality is
Timber and Raya.
they're
Timber and Raya.
they're talking about renewing Trossard's contract. They're talking about renewing Martinelli. We're not
Yeah.
getting a left winger if these two stay.
Yeah,
This is the
exactly.
reality. It's
And I
common
know
sense.
Ashra made a good point. Ashra made a good point there. I said this on the group the other day. If you want to renew Trossard's contract and you're going to keep Martinelli, unless you're thinking of having 3 left wingers, or maybe he wants to renew Trossard's contract because he thinks Trossard can play left and right, so he becomes a versatile winger to play.
Which is
any-
not
never
true.
play-
It's
he
not
never
true.
played
He never
Trossard.
played him
I
on the right ever.
I know. So that logic's stupid. So really, the only one that makes sense is he wants to keep 2 left wingers that are both not good enough. Which again, is that decision, which I think is stupid, is
That's
that on
why we
Arteta?
want him out.
No, is that on Arteta? That decision?
Yeah, unfortunately, it shouldn't be on him, but it is
No,
his
no, no,
decision.
no, no, no.
It
I'm not
sucks.
saying. No, I'm not saying this. Yeah, I'm
So,
asking
so
you.
do you think, Souls, that the board is renewing regardless of Arteta's opinion on the player?
No, but I don't know what Berta, Arteta, and the board are discussing right now.
Guys, you know
But-
what? We're going back and forth, and we always end up
Yeah,
back
we
onto
need
the
we need to
topic
talk
of
about
Arteta.
Spurs.
I want to speak
Spurs.
about no, fuck Spurs for a second. I want to speak about. I want to speak about. I want to speak about. I want to speak about Wirtz going to Liverpool. What that does to them, because this is a monumental
That takes them
signing.
Favorites.
to a
It's
different
Favorites.
level, man.
it's. I really don't think like Liverpool fans understand like how favorites they are.
No, they
Like
do.
in this
They do.
in this thing. No, but they have to win the league. Like now,
Yeah, man, they
it's,
have the
you
strongest
have to
midfield.
win
Man.
the league.
They
You
have
have
the
the
strongest
strongest midfield. You're
Yeah.
gonna get the strongest attack because I think they're still working on attacks. They're gonna have
Oh,
they're
I
gonna
don't
have
think so. By the way,
the wing
they
backs.
definitely don't get Isak now for sure. After
Yeah,
Liverpool.
they don't get Isak. They don't get
Yeah.
Isak. They don't get Isak.
But I think they
with
knew
Wirtz-
that. I think they were waiting on Isak, and once they realized Newcastle were going to get UCL, they changed.
No.
No,
But
you
it's
don't.
not. It's not. UCL is
Not
not confirmed
guaranteed.
for. It's not. UCL is not confirmed for Newcastle.
Yeah,
So
it is,
now, if Newcastle don't get if
Champions
Newcastle don't get Champions League, Liverpool have left themselves in a situation
But
where I
they
don't
are
think
getting
they can.
are
It's
I think
but we don't know
look,
that. We don't
I
know
think
that.
they have the money to do both, Saad. I mean, not investing last summer, winning the league.
No, they
and
haven't got the money.
I
Yeah,
don't.
they-
You. It's
make
not.
it
It's not. It's
100
not something that
I
you
really
can.
think
It's
they
not.
do.
It's not something that you can spend that amount of money. I think if they go for Wirtz now, FK took the words right out of my mouth. I
Why
think they're
for
going for yeah. Pause. I think they'll go for like Alvarez. I think they'll go for like a somebody who's able to
Even
put the
Alvarez
ball in
not
the back of the net.
Let me tell you one thing. If they get
Yeah, but
Alvarez, if they get Alvarez, Wirtz, Gyokeres, and Frimpong, that's probably one of the best windows I've seen
yeah, it's crazy.
from any
crazy.
Premier League team in the last, let's say, 5-6 years.
Wirtz
even
is
10 years.
crazy,
Why?
bro.
Because here's the thing. I thought, and
If
moving
they
on
all
to,
work out.
yeah, and I'm moving on to Liverpool now. I thought Liverpool were favourites anyway, without any of these signings going into next year, especially because City are losing De Bruyne now. Yeah, they've made some good subs. Obviously, Marmoush is playing well. Obviously, now when City were linked with, Reinders and all these guys, but still, Liverpool now I thought they were favourites anyway. Now they're going to be even bigger favourites. That's why I was so pissed off at the start, because now it's like no matter who we sign now, I'm always going to have in the back of my head. I'm always going to have in the back of my head, no matter who we sign, that there's a better team out there with a better.
Oh my
with a better
god! I
team
can
out there,
see it now. I can
and a
finally
better
see it.
manager, and a better manager. And a better
Guys,
team.
I've discovered it. Next year, at the end of the season, I have found the excuse that Solz and all the Arsenal
I'm
Arteta
not gonna
defenders
have
will
this.
say.
I always
They're gonna say Liverpool have Wirtz and Salah and Van Dijk. How are we gonna compete?
Uh-oh.
I've been
The
saying
whole
this.
Pep Guardiola argument again.
Okay,
But they
I've
are
been saying this. No,
undefeatable.
Maybe
Solz.
Solz,
They are
Solz, maybe,
invincible.
I've been saying
Solz,
this for six.
maybe,
No,
maybe
don't
not you,
say
maybe not you,
Solz.
Solz, maybe
Don't
not you.
Yeah,
say
Solz,
in
Solz.
fairness,
maybe not
to,
you.
in fairness to Souls, he said that at the end of next season, if he doesn't win, he's
Yeah,
out.
So maybe not
Dummies,
Solz.
but I can
Only a Premier champ.
guarantee you that there's top gooners,
Oh
bro.
my
I
God.
can
I
guarantee you
guarantee you.
that's already
Sad,
brewing, bro.
Sad. Let me tell you one thing. You know, if we
Sheesh.
sign Xavi this
Sheesh.
season, if we sacked Arteta this season and we sign Xavi, or we sign Enrique, or we sign Flick, pick any manager in the world now. Pick the best manager in the world. I can guarantee you, even with the best manager in the world,
They'd win.
We have a 10% chance of winning the season.
No.
No. Can I tell you why? Can I tell you why?
Because
If
they
Liverpool get their targets, we have no chance.
Okay, don't put
Nope.
your mic in front of
BS.
your mouth and start screaming to you know what I'm saying?
Exactly, bro. Stop
Because-
doing that.
Because Conte,
No.
because
Yeah,
Conte,
because his mic is already
Enrique.
near his mouth. Look at his mic. It's already near his mouth.
Okay, shut up.
Your mic is already
Bro,
near your
this guy,
mouth.
bro. Hold
Your
on.
mic is already near your mouth.
That sounded like
Your
that.
mic's already near your mouth.
That sounded like
Hold
the
on,
Cookie Monster right there. That's
Why are you putting your mic in your mouth, bro? You know what I'm saying? Wallah, bro. We understand you.
Why?
Anyway, what I was trying to say is Luis Enrique and those men wouldn't push for Sesko. They would just say yes to Gyokeres. and we would have a better team at the end. You know what I'm saying?
Even
No,
with
but T,
Gyokeres,
you're
with
coming at it from
Gyokeres-
that angle. No, but T, you're coming at it from that angle. I'm not even coming at it from that angle. I'm talking about these managers. Let's take Xavi Alonso. Let's take sorry, not Xavi Alonso. Let's take Xavi Hernandez. Even though I think he still does have this ability to manage games properly and be able to get the best out of his players. But let's just take him out for instance. If you say, oh, he's still a new manager, or he's still like, what else has he done in the game? Yeah, let's take him out for a second. But if you're telling me that if I bring Luis Enrique, somebody who's been in the game for years,
We will have better chance.
has been a staple in football for years, in football management, bro. I promise you, if he comes to this squad, yeah, and we sign a striker, I don't to be honest, whatever striker it is, yeah. If he comes in, he has a striker that he can get a hold of, and he can mentor, and he can make sure to get the best out of him. And he has wingers. I guarantee he gets the best out of them. I guarantee we put up a better fight than we do under
That's
Arteta.
natural.
Because they have IQ. They have IQ,
Yeah.
and they have ability to play players and realize what is their faults and what is their strong suits, and then you'll be able to use that while hiding their flaws. It's
And I
something
agree with you, and I agree with that statement, and that statement might be true, and TK's statement might be true that we get Gyokeres because it'll be one different time. Even with Gyokeres and that increased chance with a better style of play, there's no guarantee we're going to beat that Liverpool super team. If Liverpool get Alvarez, Wirtz, Kirkes,
Super team, you know what I'm saying? They get
Alvarez,
Wirtz, they turn into
listen, let me say one thing. Alvarez, Salah, and Wirtz in an attack, you have a very minimal chance of winning the Premier League, even with your Gyokeres and Sakas and all these guys.
That's BS because Liverpool won the league once against that incredible Man City, and they almost beat them to 2 other league titles.
Can I ask you one thing? Who is better? Who is better right now?
Shut up,
Lukaku
my pubic hair
or
looks
Lautaro
better.
Martinez?
I love you, all I love you. God.
Lautaro Martinez.
Who's better right now, Solz? Lautaro Martinez or Lukaku?
Martinez.
Who's better?
Martinez.
Okay. Who's better?
McTominay or Barella?
Yeah.
McTominay or Barella?
Yeah.
Who's better?
Barella by country mile.
There you go. And
How come Napoli are winning the league?
We can name a few more if you want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they bought a guy that has been one of the biggest Premier League rejects ever. You know what I'm saying? They bought him for 100 million, got scammed, went away, and another team bought him for 100 million. They got scammed, and then he went to, you know what I'm saying, Roma and Napoli and them, man. You know what I'm saying? This guy just said, give me Philip Billing, give me McTominay, give me Lukaku, and khalas, I'll win you a league. You know what I'm saying? And what did he do? He won them a league. You know what I'm saying?
And
that's what good managers do at the end of the day. It's
you don't even need to go to that level. Once you don't even need to go to that level. You know why? Because actually, once Solz, when you compare our players with Napoli, sorry, forget our players with Napoli. My bad. When you compare our players with Liverpool,
oh, yeah, by the way, they have an agreement with Wirtz. Did you know that?
Who?
Yeah.
The Plattenberg guy said they have an agreement.
I read it. I just read it now. And the funny thing is, once again, Solz, I didn't even finish. The funny thing is, our players, we don't even have to go to the level of Billing, McTominay, and all. We actually have top quality players. We have a world class pairing centre back. We have a top quality, in my opinion, one of the best fullbacks in the world in Timber. We have a young and upcoming quality left back who's still young, yes, but he's talented. We have one of the best midfielders in his position in the world in Declan Rice.
Centre backs as well.
Right? Yeah, I mentioned centre backs.
Okay. So TK.
We have, one second, I'm not done because I'm going to the team. We have a world-class right winger, right? We have a player who in the last 2 seasons was world-class. This season it was crap in Odegaard, fair enough. And if we get, again, I'm just going with the crazy assumption. Let's say we somehow get Gyokeres and Rodrigo. Let's live in a very nice. Wait. I agree, but let's assume we do. Let's assume, just for the sake of argument, even if we get those players, I still think Liverpool and City, if City do the business they're supposed to do, have a better chance than us. Not because their players are better. Our players can compete with those players because the managers in Slot and Pep have a better mentality, are better
Okay.
coaches, and know how to win title races. If
so
we get
right now-
Enrique,
and all I'm saying is, Solz, if you
we get-
compare Arteta to Conte, I'm not gonna have this conversation with you.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's
I'm
let,
not-
we
let's
get
let,
Enrique-
let's let Stan-
TK.
let's let Solz land
Wait,
just quickly.
So TK, I'm not going to address Ashraf's statement at all, because what Ashraf is going to try and convince me is that, because he did this
Nah,
last
you
season.
can't. You have to.
No,
You have to
I'm
address it, bro.
not.
Well,
Because
why?
you know
You have to address it.
why? Because
when they can't
this
answer,
guy was-
they run away.
Sad, you know why? Because this guy was trying to convince us
Yeah,
we
that
have a
happens
better
on
team
WhatsApp
than
as well.
Liverpool. This season,
Yeah,
he was-
exactly.
he
It
was-
happens on WhatsApp as well.
Sad. This season, Ashraf's been saying all season, even with our bloody injuries and Moreno up front, he was sitting there arguing on stream saying we've got a better 11 than Liverpool. This guy overinflates our
Yeah.
players. So I'm
I
not going to
don't-
argue about this. So I'm
I
not
don't
going to
know
argue.
where players.
I'm gonna address TK's point here, yeah, because I've been saying
This is
Liverpool
the
fans
guy-
said that.
no. Hold
By
on,
the
let
way,
me speak.
TTT. This guy
Let me
called
speak.
Saka better than Salah.
Let
He
me
said Saka is
speak.
better than
Let me
Salah.
speak.
He said
Okay, so
Saka
what
is
does
better
that
than
mean?
Salah.
I
Who
What does
overinflates
that mean?
players?
I
Please
know.
tell me.
By the way, I said he was better than
This
Salah.
is gonna be a
before.
5-hour show, by the way, guys. 5-hour
Okay,
show.
that's
Yeah,
fine.
exactly.
TK,
No, we're gonna wrap
We
up.
have to talk about Europa League, guys. We have to talk about
By the
Europa
way, he's not going to add context to that. It was before Saka's
This is the
injury. He was
Arsenal
the most-
Koora pod
he
now,
was the
not the
most- he
Koora
was
pod.
the most informed
Okay,
player
Yalla,
in the
ask your question. Ask your question, Yalla. I
No,
don't
no,
care
it's not
about
Yalla.
context.
No, it's not Yalla. It's not Yalla. Hold on. Let me see what I want to say. Basically, what you're saying is and what your point is that with Barella and all these people, what you're saying is that even if Liverpool have a better team, you're saying there's been teams in the past. You're saying that there's been great teams in the past where the team below them with a worse team, because they have a good manager, have got them across the line against the better team to win a major trophy. That's your point.
No, I'm not saying we have.
No one's talking to you. I'm talking to TK. Just stop talking. TK, what you're saying is TK. What you're saying is that even if
I don't
Liverpool
understand your point. What has that
I'll
to do with
tell you
us?
my point. No, because you agree with me, but you just don't want to say yes. I know you don't want to
No,
say yes.
wallahi, I don't understand you.
Okay,
Wallahi, I
let
don't
me
understand.
explain.
Nobody
let me explain it.
understands him, bro. He
Okay,
talks
let me
like a
see what
freaking
you're saying.
parrot.
Okay, stop talking. TK, what I'm saying is, what you're saying is, even if Liverpool, if they get Alvarez, Wirtz, all these people, they're keeping Salah. You're saying even if Liverpool have a better team, if we have a good manager, we should be able to get across the line, because there's been teams in the past that have had worse teams than better teams and still won the trophy over them.
Yes, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, but I just want to clarify. What you're saying.
Are you trying to insinuate that we should buy Sesko now, or
Don't worry what I'm insinuating. I'm asking
We
you a
waited
question.
all that
What you're
long
saying.
for that disgusting land like crashing.
No, but it's not disgusting if he agrees with it, is it? So what are we talking about? That was his point. That was his whole point.
I'm saying your point is dusted.
No, but listen.
Your point is dusted because
but
you think we have a better
there's
team than
context
we
to
do.
this. Souls. There's context to this. Souls. Napoli have not as much money as us. That's the reason why they bought those players in the first place. You know what I'm saying? You know how much they struggled to get Lukaku over the line because of his salary and what Chelsea wanted for him, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those situations where he went to a club that doesn't have much money as us. Yes, we can maybe have a worse team than Liverpool, but if we have a okay,
Listen,
I didn't finish my point. I didn't finish my
Let him
point.
finish. Let him finish.
There could be a situation where yes, we can have a worse team than Liverpool, but if we have a better manager, that we can get over the line. But why would we want to get in that situation in the first place? We have money. Why not spend it on players? You know what I'm saying? Why are we being stingy as a club who has one of the best PSR situations together with Liverpool? And what do? They go out and spend 150 for Wirtz, and we are penny pinching for Rodrigo, bro.
Okay, but TK, manager aside, but
This
TK,
guy's a flip-flop. He said we have 4 to 5 world-class players.
TK, manager aside, TK, take Arteta out of the
He
equation.
said, Wallahi, I will take Enrique over Arteta.
I didn't even mention Arteta. I mentioned the clubs.
TK, I'm saying take Arteta out of the equation. If
I didn't even mention Arteta.
Okay, if Liverpool get Wirtz, Alvarez, Gyokeres, and Frimpong with their existing team that just won the league, if they get those players and we get Gyokeres, or let's say we get your target, Gyokeres, and we go and get Zubimendi and we go and get Rodrigo, who's got the better team? Forget Slot and Arteta, just team against team.
I can do the comparison right now if you want.
No, you overinflate Arsenal players. I don't want to hear your comparison.
I'm thinking about other positions because they're gonna have.
Guys, I'm asking. Okay, Tia, I'll ask you: keeper, Alisson or Raya?
Alisson.
Aren't they gonna have Mamardashvili next year? Or
Alisson.
No, Alisson. Let's say Alisson is still there. So let's say it's Alisson.
Alisson,
right?
Alisson, yeah. Alisson,
Okay.
yeah.
Timber or Frimpong?
Timber.
Timber.
That depends on what you want. One is offensive, other is defensive.
No, but,
It's
but
Timber.
Timber is proven.
Timber's better
Timber is
overall.
proven.
Timber's better
No,
overall.
Timber is proven.
It's a right
Timber is
back
not
who plays
proven.
By the
better.
way, Hand of Arsenal just dropped a tweet.
Who gives a shit about Hand of Arsenal? These guys don't know.
What
shit.
No,
did
no,
he say?
I actually,
Guys, let me
What
just
did he
ask.
say?
I actually rate what he says. He says,
Ooh.
as of 8 p.m. today, Arsenal are yet to engage with any club to club talks with RB Leipzig for Benjamin Sesko. If the club choose to pursue him, the relevant reliable source will inform you, such as he basically talk about Ornstein and
Bro,
himself.
someone who names himself Hand of Ozil
No,
is not.
Hold on. Yeah, this guy's track record is very good. Hence why T, who's the person who was saying, hence why T, who's the person who normally tell me, bro, shut up with these crazy sources, is telling me, what did he say, bro? Because he has a good track record, bro. Please, relax. What's this guy trying to do, bro? If it isn't
Show
someone
me
who's
the track
got
record.
blue
Show me the track record. Let's see it.
If
Show me.
TK rates it, we rate him. If TK rates it, we rate
I'm
him.
telling you, he's got a very
You
good
know why?
track
Because
record.
I know ball souls. You know what I'm saying?
No, I
Better
agree with
recognize,
you.
bro.
I agree with
You need
I'm
to
not gonna
recognize,
say
bro. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna say I'm actually agreeing with you.
Hand of
Do
Ozil.
the super
He
chats.
said,
No, hand of
Yeah.
Arsenal, not hand of Ozil, you idiot.
I will do.
That's even worse.
And furthermore,
He called him hand of Ozil. He called him hand
Yeah.
of Ozil.
his name used to be Hand of Ozil, bro. He said, furthermore, Ethan
There
Wanyeri
you
is
go,
not.
you idiot.
Big
لا حول
power.
ولا قوة إلا بالله. خلونا نتكلم لا بدأت
تتكلم.
والله
You cut me off. You cut me off when I was talking to T, but then I spoke.
You sound like a 10-year-old girl.
furthermore, صرت قود يلا ايش دابا يلا ايش دابا يلا. Anyway, he said, furthermore, Ethan Wanyeri is not thinking at all about leaving Arsenal. Such lies are created to cause unrest among the fan base. He is completely happy with the pathway set by the club. Standard financial details are what remain, and you will be updated in due course. Lies travel halfway around the world before the truth is put on its shoes on. God bless and much love.
So
So
is he more reliable than
He's-
Plessis? More reliable than Plessis?
yes, I'd say he is. He breaks a lot of stuff before it happens. He breaks like there's multiple. There's too many things. I will get next episode. I will actually bring up. I will get every single thing that he broke before the people broke it. I promise you, I'll bring it and then I'll show you guys because he is very reliable, bro. This guy, I put my house on it, bro. That what he says is true. I put my house on it because I trust this guy very much. But listen, carry on. So, Ash, sorry, because you were saying something. You were comparing.
No, TK was talking actually.
Our teams
No, Solz was
are
comparing something, bro.
comparable.
Oh
Our
yeah,
teams
sorry.
are
Carry on.
comparable
Timber, go on,
because
Timber.
if we do the signings that Sol said we do, right?
Now he doesn't want to do it anymore.
Like
Now he wants to stop.
Gyokeres and Rodrigo, the reality is our teams would be comparable, very comparable, in fact. The difference
I think he's
between us
better.
and
I
them,
didn't think comparable.
the
I think
difference
he's
between us and them is the
But
difference
this is a
between
very
us and
hypothetical, Ash.
the difference between us and
Exactly.
them is that their manager is better than our manager.
better. No,
right?
no.
I mean, Ashraf,
Happy birthday,
if-
Igal, by the way. If it's your birthday, bro.
All right, big up,
birthday,
big girl.
happy
People keep
birthday.
comparing
Big
me
up
and
you,
you.
man.
People keep comparing our opinions, which I think they're very different. Still,
Yeah,
but-
I think
Don't
if you
try
I
to
think if
suck
you
up
Ig-
now.
I think if you, Igal, and Babs get into one show, that will create a wormhole. You know what I'm saying? Everything will be
Yeah.
sucked into that
We just
wormhole,
know
bro. You
ball,
know
we
what
just
I'm
know
saying?
Hey,
ball.
wife for that.
Yeah, come on.
pause.
We
Hey,
just-
wife.
It will create a
we just know
wormhole of
ball.
positivity, bro. You know
We
what I'm
don't have agendas. We don't have agendas. Egal's sitting on a stream where I'm hearing people say, "Let's drop down to the Europa League so we can win it." Listen, we are realistic fans who know ball. And
saying?
we
Yeah,
know
very realistic. Yeah, very realistic.
Arteta gets
You
one more
actually, you
year.
actually don't know shit. But the point
and
Yeah,
is,
you can
Let's
have a
go.
glaze off, bro. You can have a glaze off.
the
and
point
see who
is,
gets
if
glazed
we
on.
get
TK, but
Rodrigo
TK,
and
you
Gyokeres,
blame. No.
I didn't finish
TK
my
blames.
point. I didn't finish my
TK
point.
blames
We both
Arteta for the
can do
injury.
this. It does nothing. It does nothing. Let me finish my point.
Yes, because
The
unlike you, I
reality
know
is-
ball.
Yeah,
So
stop shagging your mic, you dusty you.
If we get shut up, my pubic hair looks better than my face.
Shagging your
If we
mic
get-
is crazy.
If we get Rodrigo, at least I'm not swallowing my thing like you're
Yeah,
putting
but
balls in my mouth.
that's fine,
If
bro.
you're
Like, you need
putting-
some
if
disinfectant
you're
on that mic.
putting Rodrigo and bro, you cannot even afford this mic, so let's calm down, bro. If you put Rodrigo and Gyokeres in this team with Arteta, we're still not a better team because as a manager, he's not going to be able to compete with the others. If you take that same team and give it to Luis Enrique, who Solz himself said he would swap for Arteta any day, and he begged me not to say this in live stream, ask him to lie right now, we would definitely have a much better chance. Of course,
That's a
nothing
lie.
is given.
That's a lie, by
Of
the
course,
way.
nothing is
Complete lie.
given.
He's
Wallah
utter
al-Azim,
liar.
that's not a lie. I'm saying Wallah
He's a
al-Azim.
liar.
Unlike Solz, I
I've
pray
never
5
said
times a
that.
day, so I can actually say Wallah, I'm not lying.
Listen,
rea-
there's no evidence. There's no evidence you doing anything. So let's not.
The reality is,
Let's not embarrass people.
this
all
manager
you do is spit
is
on your
holding us
microphone.
back. No matter who we sign, we're not gonna win anything next season. Something major. I mean, like obviously Premier League or Champions League. And unfortunately, we're gonna be in the same exact conversation next year.
Anyway, why do we keep going back to Arteta?
Listen, I don't know, but listen, I think
Because of you, bum.
because we started. I think we started the conversation talking about Liverpool, and then you said this is how it went. We started the thing talking about Liverpool and how good they're gonna be, but then you said
He switched it to Arsenal.
No, he said it's impossible to
Sorry,
win
Sad,
against this.
I asked for a summary.
Hold on, it's
Are you
impossible.
AI?
Yes, 100% I am. Yes. You said it's impossible. You said it's impossible to beat this Liverpool team, and we showed you proof of people with inferior teams beating the better teams. Yeah, and being able to beat them with lesser players who you would say are lesser players than the other teams, bro. That's how we got in this thing. But listen, I think we need to just round this off with the last bit, which is obviously Europa League. Spurs ended up winning. Manchester United are fucking horrible, and I'm hearing apparently that they are in mad situations now financially, where like, bro, like there's a 80 million pound hole, bro, that's just in their squad, in their club, where they've got to try to pull money from somewhere to like even compete, because apparently Adidas stripped 10 million off the deal, because if they're not in Champions League, they take 10 million away from that deal that they paid them.
But I was crazy for wanting Spurs to win over United, when this is exactly what I was talking about.
So listen. Sheep
usually learn a bit later. They follow later. It's fine.
Listen,
Someone has to lead the way.
Listen, you absolute fraudulent piece of shit.
Someone should not be emotional.
Firstly, I still didn't want Man United to lose because
By the way,
of what
Sammy is right.
now
You didn't even read the super chat. Yeah, fraud.
Oh yes, I didn't. Listen.
And by the way, who cares? We're not gonna buy Gyokeres anyways. We're gonna buy Sesko.
Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't matter anyway. Whether they won or they lost, bro. We're not gonna get Gyokeres anyway, bro.
Exactly.
So
Ashraf's point was stupid anyway. Then
yeah, it was stupid.
My point, I guess you guys have.
Hindsight is 2020. You know what I'm saying?
Let me just do the super chats, and then we can.
I mean, I said it before, so it wasn't hindsight, to be honest.
Yeah, let me. Ali, big up to Ali A, who puts in a super chat saying Sard, Hold, Wirtz, Frimpong, Gyokeres, Wharton, and Isak.
Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, you know what I'm saying? Zidane, go keep going, bro.
If they do get this list, but if they do get this list here,
bro, they will never buy Wirtz and Isak in the same window.
That is his name, by the way.
Never do
That is his name, by the way, That is his name, by the way. Baris Yilmaz, isn't it?
Why they cannot do that? Why they cannot do it?
Yeah, see,
because they won't spend another 150, bro.
Why not?
They won't.
They didn't spend anything last summer. Why do you think
they won't? Because they won't. They will.
Can I explain to you? Can I explain to you
why? Do you not know FSG? Okay, this is literally the Caicedo money. This is literally the Caicedo money they're giving to Wirtz. Okay, they don't have another 150 million just laying there to spend it. They won't do that.
How do you know that?
They won't. They won't.
Bro, shall I tell you a definite why they won't? A definite why they won't is because when they get a confirmation that they're gonna go
Ali A said TK sharp.
When they get confirmation, yeah, that
I mean, Ali, I can make you shut up if you want, no?
Because no, hold on, wallah, haram alik, wallah, haram. Ali, you need to chill out, bro, because T will cancel you.
T does not like comments hundred him.
Hey, but listen.
What did you say, Ali? Type again, Ali. What did you say? Type again.
100%. He timed him out. This is the point. when
Good stuff.
when you have like big fans of the club like Hussam, and they sign and they look like they're on the verge of signing Wirtz, and he's like, "Oh my god, I don't know what's happening. Oh my god, this is massive for LFC." Acting like they've never been here before. It's because yes, they've never been here before, where they're making massive signings, continuous massive signings, especially like this with Wirtz, bro. 150 million. 150 million.
There's always
and you think no. But this isn't a beginning, because they've shown that they can spend money on Van Dijk, yeah. But then they can go back to spending little money, and they won't spend money for a few seasons. Like they've never shown a consistency of doing it, bro. So you have to base it on
sad. Right? The whole monologue you said, the best comment I saw here was Akmal's comment. He said, "Sad, are you high?" Because you just chatting shit. You're someone just talking rubbish for like a whole minute.
How am I talking rubbish, bro? They've never done it before. They signed one person for 150 million. The fan base is going nuts, yeah? The guys are not even gotten this over the line. But you're telling me...
You're right about... No, look, if you're talking about the past, I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you.
Financially, they have a 3-year period. They're not just going to whack all of their budget on one season and one summer, bro.
No, but maybe they said, okay, look, this coach is good enough. He came in the first season.
Is high and TK's on coke.
La hawla wala quwwata illa billah, bro.
Look, Sad, I agree with you. They haven't done it in the past couple of years. Totally 100%. They haven't spent big, but now seeing that Arne Slot is able to take their team over the line from the first season, they're like, okay, we're gonna back this.
I just don't know why he rejected City and Bayern to play in fucking Liverpool, man. Honestly, like genuinely, I don't understand.
Because they're champions. Maybe
I know.
Yes, that's what you said. They are champions, and Slot from the first season. From the first season, he done it.
I mean, Solz, you wouldn't understand because you don't want trophies. You know what I'm saying? He wants trophies. You know what I'm saying?
Anyway,
he doesn't want small trophies.
Let me just carry on. Let me carry on the super chat.
The Premier League is a small trophy. There you go.
Big up to Ali, who said obviously this stuff with Isak and Morton. Yeah, you're not gonna get them. And then big up to Arthur, who says Sardinio and Co. Greetings from the great lands of. I'm not saying that last bit.
Yo,
brother, you need to relax. You need to relax. What have you won anyway? What have you won? What have you won?
What is Zar? What is Zar? Where is he?
Bro, he's a South Africa, bro. He's South Africa.
Of course.
He's a Liverpool fan. But he keeps on chatting about this South Africa. You South African man needs to chill out, bro. Because don't let my team come back against you again, bro.
Big up South Africa.
We'll get our get back, bro. We'll get our get back, man. Don't worry. But listen, last bit we need to speak about is the Europa League final. What was that game? I think that was one of the worst footballing games.
When you watch the game, honestly, like I said it on Hussam's stream. It was genuinely like when you watch the two teams play, you can tell that it was two teams at the lowest of low of their domestic leagues. Like the quality of football was just poor.
One thing, Solz, Ange can talk the walk.
No, I'm saying no.
Walk the talk. He did it, man. For me,
I said this as well. No, I said this as well.
Unlike others.
No, listen. First of all, it was a poor game of football. Both teams.
Yeah, when someone talks like that and does it, damn.
Wait, hold on. Both teams were shocking on the night. And I think, obviously, in years to come, no one's going to care about the game. They're going to care about who wins. So ultimately, I'm just analyzing the game.
They have a trophy.
I'm analyzing.
Which I didn't see you rebuttal in WhatsApp when I asked you about it. When Arteta bottled it two times.
Can I land my point, bro? If you ask me a question, I'm saying I'm analyzing the game now.
Oh, now you know how it feels, huh?
The game was a poor game of football. Sad. I don't know if you agree.
Nobody's saying it was a good game. Nobody's saying it's a good game.
I'm talking about the game. Speak about the game, or do you want to turn it back into Arteta again?
Can we just speak about a topic without interrupting each other every 2 seconds, guys? Yalla, please.
So poor game of football.
Well, that's the game, man. What do you mean?
It's almost 2 hours and we still have this topic, bro. What are we doing here, bro?
No. There's a new topic. But Tottenham was shit. United was shit. I think Tottenham scored a lucky goal. But I don't know what Onana was doing, standing like a pillock. right? Onana is one of the worst keepers.
Sorry, my bad.
Onana's one of the worst keepers I've
Yeah,
ever
he's
seen.
shambolic. Yes.
Right? And I don't know what Luke Shaw was doing there as well. Onana's jumping midair, right? And United were shocking. They couldn't string a pass together. I'm seeing Amad Diallo getting bodied by Richarlison. I don't know what's going on here. Honestly, it was a poor game of football.
But these man told me that this Luke Shaw guy was. I mean, I'm a fat guy, bro, but this guy's looking chunky, bro.
So on the topic
player, bro, I'll be real, man.
On the topic of Ange, I'm giving a serious advice here. Tottenham. On the topic of Ange, if I'm Ange today, I leave Tottenham. And this is the reason why I leave Tottenham.
Maybe they're gonna sack him. They're gonna sack him.
Listen to my point. If I'm Ange, I'll leave, because if he leaves now,
So Tottenham have better standards than Arsenal.
He leaves with a trophy, right? And I think he can still revive his career, because the concern now with Ange is that you don't want to go and give him money this summer, make him buy a bunch of players, and then sack him on Christmas. And the new manager who comes in is like, I didn't want these players. These are Ange players. You don't want that to happen.
Oh, you know what? I totally it's too funny. What are you talking? Are you talking about the black one with the green?
Yeah.
That chunky thing, bro. You have to get two people to carry it, bro.
Ashraf doesn't know about that, because Ashraf's like 70 years old. When Xbox came out, this guy was already 50. But anyway, let me finish.
I don't know about that because I have PS. I'm a PS guy. I'm not an Xbox guy.
Same. Actually,
But I can afford both. Unlike Souls, I can afford both if I want to.
Yeah, I'm broke. That's fine. Look, guys, look. Whenever someone asks me, look, by the way,
we can tell from your Wi-Fi that's been disconnecting every 5 minutes. By the way, I don't know if you know that. Your screen freezes, and we can hear voice, and we cannot see your face.
Guys, just let you know, just to tell all the comments one thing, because I'm reading the comments. Yeah, I'm on loads of streams, and on the streams I'm on, there's hundreds of comments of people. There's hundreds of comments of people saying everything they want about me. I don't take any comments. Say whatever you like about me. You're not gonna get nothing that happen to you. No one's gonna get muted.
By the way, no personal insults. Yeah, if you do personal insult, if you're insulting, no, wallahi,
I don't mind. Give me personal.
Wallahi, I don't care. Wallahi, I don't care. Come on, man. What is this?
Send me your bank details, Souls. I'll transfer money for better Wi-Fi.
Okay. I was looking at the comment section, and I've had already, just on being on 2 or 3 streams, I've had over 100 personal insults through the comments. I don't care. It doesn't affect me. I've been doing this game way before these streams. I've been on. You know what I mean?
Every time, True Blue Clay.
Souls, can I ask you an honest question, Souls?
True. Yeah, go on.
By the way, guys, jokes aside, yeah. No personal insults, obviously, guys, in the comments.
I wanna ask. Put that brush away, bro. What is this?
Go on.
Look at Wallah, this guy.
What are you doing,
bro? Look at him. Look at Wallah.
You have to understand this.
This guy, bro.
Why you know what's funny?
The question is,
he's looking at his screen. He's looking at his screen, acting like he can see his hair while he's brushing.
TK, you haven't got a beard. Stop talking.
Pubic hair doesn't get better when you comb it.
Your hairline is talking. Your McDonald's hairline is talking.
Guys.
McDonald's hairline.
I want to ask your hairline. The size of his freaking fat ass.
I want to ask Souls a genuine question. Souls, this is for me. This is a question I've needed to ask for a while. How the fuck does Ash have good internet? How the fuck does Ash have good? Can I just land? Yeah, baby. How the fuck does Ash have good internet and you don't have good internet? How does that work? You're in the same region. You could go to the same provider and get the good internet.
I'll tell you why. Number one. I'll tell you why. Because I've actually got a life, so I don't focus on internet speeds. I actually go outside. Ashraf's stuck in his 4 walls, right? He does nothing apart from sit on streams and talk shit for 24 hours a day. So that's why.
How did I know he was gonna try and cuss Ash in the response?
By the way, guys, I love Ash. I love Ash. Guys,
the real answer is I can afford it and he cannot afford it. That's
guys, for all the comments, I want to say one thing. On the Quran, I love Ash, by the way. I slander him the most because I'm closest to him. and he's my guy. I love him. All I love him. So don't ever guys think that this is some like personal thing. It's not.
But back to the
Hey,
game.
listen, this is True Brew Clay. Listen, this podcast will be forever going on now, yeah. Because the thing is, yeah, I get so many messages from people saying that they love this podcast and they love like the Koora pod and all the personalities here, yeah. So listen, this podcast is going nowhere, mate. We're here all summer, mate. You're gonna see us upset when Arsenal sign no one, and you're gonna see us fucking hating people, bro.
But back to the game.
Hey, I agree with Sami. Sami, go ahead. Talk about the game.
Hold on. I was really shocked on some decision that Amr made in terms of formation of the squad. I didn't see the reason why he had to play Mount. He was awful that game. The Man United couldn't penetrate Tottenham. Tottenham actually played sat back in the defense. This is weird for Ange to do, but he learned his lesson at least right on time before he. It seems that he really desired that trophy and he wanted to show the world that he was right, that he can win a trophy in the second season. And they played really pragmatic football. They sat back and just parked the bus there, and Man United was not unable to penetrate them. Pause, but it was really a dead game. Yeah, I said pause. I said,
guys, you realize we're all like.
See that super chat? Did you get a super chat?
You don't have
Someone
to say
said how much
pause
to drop.
and why for that and all that stuff. You guys
No.
By the way, Phineas, there's
like men.
you will never, I will never ever drop like. There's no money in the world you can offer me to drop Solz. So,
Edison, send me 5 bags on the Quran. I'll quit the show today.
chill out.
Send me the money. Send it to me, bro.
Nobody send the money. Nobody send the money.
So
Sorry, go ahead.
Keep this guy no matter what, and this fraud said I'll.
He's like, bro, I'll leave, bro. I'll leave. Give me 5 back. Give me 5 grand. I'm leaving, bro.
This is why.
First of all, I'm joking. What's your name? First of all, Finny Haas, you dusty you, right? How about I pay you 10
Hey, relax, bro. Relax. Phineas is my guy, bro. Phineas is family, bro. Yeah, come on, man.
Guys, the 5 grand will help him pay for internet. So
by the way, Twisted Barber, thank you very much. He said to Ashraf, stop flexing with money. But Ashraf's losing by what he's saying, by the way. Stop flexing money because ultimately, if you had money, you'd go.
I'm a miskin.
If you had money, you'd go Turkey and fix your dusty hairline.
Because unlike you, I'm not an insecure man.
Hairline,
You're
crazy.
Who sees himself in the mirror every day.
You need glasses.
Who sees himself in the mirror every day and buys a big ass phone to go like, I need to look better for my woman.
You look like an Uber driver.
Not a woman, by the way, just so you know.
You work as an Uber driver in North London.
Let's
Yeah, you look like you sell Emirates copies outside the Emirates Stadium. You know what's those things that they sell outside the Emirates?
Hey, you want a program?
Yeah. You're like a program salesman.
And they probably still earn more than you do. They probably still earn more than you do.
You know why I'm laughing?
If we stream with them, they'll have their internet.
Bro, do you know why I'm laughing? Do you know why I'm laughing? Because there's this guy called Abdullah, bro. I've seen him always at the Emirates, bro, and he's always wearing that long raincoat, bro. That long one. Even when it's when it's sunny, bro. When it's sunny, the guy's wearing a long raincoat and the little Arsenal cap, bro. He's like, "You want a program? You want a program?" I'm like, "Bro, I don't want a program, bro. I'm good." Sammy, please. Go ahead.
It's just it was, in summary, it was really one of the most dreadful final games that I've ever watched in my life. It says a lot. I mean, the 16, the 17 in the league are playing in a final of a UEFA Europa League. It says it all. And Tottenham now are going to go to the Champions League next year, and the clubs who actually deserve to go in the Champions League, one of them are not going to go to it, like Chelsea, Newcastle, even Nottingham. Deserved more than the Chickens, but the Chickens did. And Solz, I told Solz about the Europa League. It's a trophy, first of all, Solz. If you didn't know, it's a cup that you put in the cabinet. And I asked this. You told me, "Oh, we are not in the Europa League. You cannot compare it, and we're not there, and we're never going to be there." I said, "Okay, when we were there, and we lost back to back to Olympiacos back in 19 and 21, I think, and 20. I can't remember the years now, but anyways." When we were there, and
harder competition.
And also the squad that we had at that time was even better than what Tottenham has right now.
It was
And
a
yet,
harder
and yet, Ange managed to get it, and Arteta couldn't get that.
TJ, who disagrees with
And
you
on
on
that,
everything.
and
TJ,
on that,
TJ,
I'm gonna drop the mic. I'll
and
leave to T.
No, don't leave. TJ, who was there yesterday, even who disagrees with everything I say, even made the point which was clear. Stop comparing Arsenal losing in the Europa League to Olympiacos and Sporting, because ultimately, when we lost those games, the Europa League used to be a much harder competition. Teams like Napoli, Atletico Madrid, Sporting Lisbon, these teams used to be in the Europa League. Now the Europa League format has changed. No more Champions League teams will drop down.
You know what's funny? I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. In fact, other Standards FC YouTubers said the same. And they said some Arsenal fans are going to use this argument. But just know that we didn't play any of those teams that dropped from the Champions League to the Europa League. We still lost to Europa League teams.
We played Sporting. We lost them.
Okay, Olympiacos, Villarreal.
Olympiacos also dropped from the Champions League that season. They finished third.
No, I'm talking about the teams. I'm talking about the teams in Arteta 10 year.
Agree on this. Are Olympiacos a Champions League team?
Arteta 10 year only.
Well, they were in the Champions League.
That year, they were in the Champions League, so they were a Champions League team that year.
Okay,
like,
but
guys,
Ashraf, do not do this whole. Hypothetically speaking, if we look at quadmetronics and blah blah blah, no, we're not doing that, bro.
It's not hypothetically.
They are shit. They had En-Nesyri as a striker. Do not do this, bro. They are not the Champions League team.
For starters, that was, I can't believe I'm gonna defend this disgusting manager who I won out, but I have to. Because I'm not going to change my opinions on this.
Was it Emery?
For starters, no, it was Arteta. For starters, when you ask a question, are they a Champions League team? You have to look at that season and if they were in the Champions League. To say an opinion like, yeah, one second, I'm coming to it. Quality is Champions League because they made it to the Champions League. To say that they are a Europa League team, you have no evidence for that because they were in the Champions League.
I'm not going to argue that. Go ahead.
And the Olympiacos one was the first season of Arteta, which, by the way, also ended with an FA Cup. So it wasn't like he ended that season with failure. So by your logic and Sami's, he ended with a trophy. So that season was successful, right? The Sporting Lisbon one, I agree, was a bad one. Yes, they also dropped from the Champions League. We should have won. In my opinion,
it was a season, but I'm talking about Europa League. Only. I'm talking about only Europa League. Yes, as a season, yes, I agree. It was, but not in the Europa League because
I agree.
Tottenham sitting 17th and we were sitting at 8th at that time.
Sami, but the difference
is
double
their standings.
Look, you can criticize Arteta and Arsenal for many things, and they deserve so much criticism. I think Arteta deserves so much criticism. He should be out. But let's target the gun at the right targets. Right. The problem now is when you guys say Tottenham are 17th and they won the Europa League. Yeah, but Tottenham, again, first of all, yes, the competition is different, whether you guys like it or not, because a lot of these teams that dropped to the Champions League, 2 of them knocked us out. It makes the competition harder. That's obviously one thing.
A lot harder, yeah.
Secondly, you cannot beat us with a stick, right? Because we were not playing in a competition. We were not playing in the Europa League, so you can't hold that against us. Now, you'll say, but when we were in it, we didn't win it. Guess what? Spurs were in it a couple of years ago. They lost it. Spurs were in the Conference League a couple of years ago. They lost it. Nobody said they cannot win this year's competition because they lost the last 2-3 years. Pep lost the Champions League. Pep lost the Champions League with Man City. Pep lost the Champions League with Man City against Monaco, against Lyon, against Liverpool, against Spurs, against Real Madrid, and against Chelsea in a final.
But then he won a treble.
But nobody before he won the treble said, sorry, Pep, it's impossible for you to win it because you lost it the other few years. So to say that we've lost the last 3, so we cannot win the Europa League is a stupid argument. Just because we've lost the last 3 that Arteta managed doesn't mean we would not have won it if we were in it this year. The reality is finishing second in the league and reaching a Champions League semi-final is a much, 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 much harder thing to do than finishing 17th and winning a Europa League in this format. That's the reality. That we have to use common sense. It's okay for you to say they were more successful because they won a trophy. Okay, obviously that makes sense. But they didn't have a better season because we were not playing in the same competition. Crystal Palace had a better season because in the league we did better, but in the FA Cup where we both competed, they ended up winning it. Newcastle did better because in the league we finished ahead of them, but in the Carabao Cup where we both competed, they did better. I don't read the cup as much.
Here's where I agree
understand
with
that argument.
everything. I agree with everything except the part that you're saying that it's harder to be second and keep challenging, and it's no. I disagree with that point because getting over semi-final in the
yes,
UCL, that's
exactly.
fine.
Exactly.
I rate them all the same. Quarterfinal, semi-final, it's fine. Yes, it's a progression in terms of where you got knocked out, but it's still you got knocked out in that stage. However, getting over the line and winning in a final, that's something you have to count, regardless if it's a shitty tournament or not. It has to do
the level of competition.
It has to do.
matters.
I understand that part. That even makes my point even stronger. That's saying that you couldn't even do it in any cups. I'm asking for you any cup, man. FA Cup. What do you
And
call
that's
it?
fine. I agree with you there, but don't use the Europa League then.
Getting over the line in a knockout competition is something requires winning mentality, which we haven't seen in more than 5 years in this football club. And this is something that I've been stressing. This is my point. This is my whole point, that we keep challenging and we're nearly there and we are playing beautiful football. We are, 90 points since the invincible, like Solz likes to say, but yet we haven't reached to that point. We say, okay, we reached to a final and we could have won something.
Sami, I don't disagree.
Alongside the progression where I said, okay, I'm in the progression wagon in the past 3 years, but now I'm saying, hey, I'm no longer
Sami,
there. I don't believe
we
that
agree.
Yes,
but I'm just saying, do not use the Europa League as a metric to also shit on Arteta, because that's not a fair comparison. We weren't on it. And sorry,
look, man, I went down even to the Carabao Cup, man. Forget about the Europa League.
I never do that, True Blue Clay, ever.
I'm just saying. I went even down to a domestic cups. Ash, my saying.
And I hear you
my
about
thoughts.
That, yeah.
Yes. I'm saying in every competition that increases the number of trophies that you can win, that's something you have to take serious and you have to win. But you couldn't do it in the past 5 years, and this is my argument in the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yes, you're progressing in terms of point tally. You're building a good squad consistently. You are there challenging for the league, whatever. I hear that. But still, you can win something along the line to feed that kind of mentality to your team.
But then do you not think
four Carabao Cups that he won before he started dominating the whole?
We debunked that already.
I'm just saying.
Klopp won a Champions League before he won any other trophy.
Look, if you want to build, you would like to say that you wanted to build a dynasty, right? That's what you wanted for your club, for Arsenal.
Yeah,
correct.
That's exactly why you shouldn't do that.
Okay, fair enough. You want to build a dynasty. Yeah. In order to do that, you need to infuse that winning mentality into your team. You cannot just go from a zero to a hero, right?
But Sami, that's been debunked.
It takes a progress. True. It is true, man. What do you mean
it's been debunked? Because I'll tell you, it's been debunked because first of all, we've given the example of Liverpool, who kept progressing, bottling Europa League final, bottling Carling Cup final, and the first trophy they won was Champions League. Hell, forget Liverpool. Because people will say, don't compare different clubs. I'll use Arsenal. I'll use Arsenal as an example. 2014, we broke a trophy drought. After 9 years, we won the FA Cup. We challenged for the league that season. We were up there up until January. We were 2 points off the top until January. Okay. Right? People will call me old. I remember these things. We were on top until January, or 2 points behind in Jan. And by February, March, it became a 3-horse race. We started getting slapped up by teams in the league. But we won the FA Cup and people started seeing hope. They're like, oh, damn, 9 years?
Yes,
one second, I'll come to it. Ozil's first season, we just broke the trophy drought. Next season, we're going to win the league. We went to the next season, and our first half...
Are we going prior Arteta tenure? Okay.
And I'm going to prior Arteta, and I'm coming to Arteta as well. We went to the next season. We were crap in the first half of the Premier League. We were losing games like crazy and dropping points in dumb games. And then in the middle of the season, he fixed certain things. He played Ospina as keeper. He started the combination of Koora and what's his name? Cazorla in the middle. Cazorla started playing as a centre mid, not as an attacking mid anymore. And we ended up going back-to-back in the FA Cup when we slapped up Villa 4-0. And all of us were like, you know what, guys? I think we're getting there. Back-to-back FA Cups, I think finally we're going to start going and winning the league. And next season, we challenged for the league until halfway. Do you guys remember that Arsenal-Man City game at the Emirates?
Is that the Leicester season?
the Leicester season. We played Man City in December. And for those who don't remember, let me educate you guys on this. We played. T might remember this. We played Man City in December, and they brought the Premier League trophy
Why am I
to
just
the
getting,
ground.
like, cancelled, bro?
What? Cancelled? What do you mean cancelled?
Now, why are you just saying just you and T, bro? You think we didn't
Sorry,
watch football?
Khalas,
You think you think we didn't watch football? We
No,
just
we don't
started
remember.
watching
Khalas,
football.
okay, let me make my point. Let me make my point.
Fraud.
December, they got
Yeah.
the Premier League trophy to the ground because you don't have my ball knowledge. That's why I have to make sure I bring myself
Oh
down.
wow!
Remember,
I'm so sorry. Wow.
remember how the ball knowledge game
No,
went. That's
I'm
why
so sorry that my
Sorry,
cupboard does not have
I had
freaking
to.
windows
I had
in
to do
it.
that.
I am so
I had
sorry
to
my
do that.
cupboard
I had
does
to
not
do
have
that. I had
windows
to
in it. And my cushions are active.
Bro, we're
Bro.
seeing your dusty cupboard made in Guangzhou. So relax. My point is, yeah. My point is, okay. In December, they got the Premier League.
Ashraf's got the same color pillows on the sofa.
They got the Premier League trophy to the ground to try and say that these two are probably gonna go head to head for the title. And we beat City that game 2-1 when Walcott scored a screamer and Giroud scored the other goal.
We fumbled it. Look,
And-
look, Ash. I'm not disagreeing.
Wait, Sami, I'm coming to it. And we
bottled.
bottled that league, right? And then the season after, we got even worse, but we still won the FA Cup when we beat Conte's Chelsea in the final. Guess what that proves? We won 3 of the 4 FA Cups. So people were winning the trophies you guys asked for, and we kept getting worse and worse and worse. And for the first time in Wenger's history, we dropped out of the top 4, and we started getting slapped up 3-4-0 every single game away from home. So we actually kept getting worse. Winning cups does not mean shit to you winning the Premier League and Champions League. Wenger, when he built the stadium in 2006, told us we are trying to be like Bayern and Real Madrid.
Wenger needed to leave 5 years prior. Wenger needed to leave 5 years prior.
Let me respond to this Ninja Turtle. Listen, let me tell you something. Yeah, I agree with.
Tell us, Donatello. Tell us, Michelangelo.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I agree with what Ashraf. Actually, no, Wallah, I'm not going to be honest. Ashraf was cooking there when you didn't respond to us. You said, Sammy, you agreed, but the only part you didn't agree was about the trophy and this, that.
Yes.
Honestly, I wish Ashraf was there yesterday on Sam's stream, because everything he said was what I was trying to say, but the delivery wasn't as good. Ultimately, Arteta can be blamed for everything. Arteta can be blamed for everything, but you can't blame him for that season being in a competition that we're not in. That's number one. And number two, when Sammy tried to debunk that we're not in that competition, where we was in there 2 years ago when we lost to Olympiacos, it was a much different context because it was a much harder competition. That point there automatically debunks the entire argument. His argument about, Ange got across the line, we couldn't do that. Again, Ange got across the line on in a worse competition. But ultimately, we have not and I tried to say this yesterday on Sam's stream, and this is where you guys don't understand my point about these smaller trophies. My expectation for Arsenal is I would prefer to challenge for a Prem or Champs. Okay, Ashraf, I'm gonna ask you one question, Ashraf. Yeah, please, a simple question, because I already know TK and Sammy's answer to this question. Ashraf, in Arteta's last 2 seasons, would you have preferred we challenge City like we did 2 years running with no trophies, including this season where we challenged for a champs and got to the semis, or do you have preferred Arteta have 3 4th place finishes with 3 FA Cups?
Obviously, our seasons from the last 2 seasons.
Okay, so if he did finish,
I don't want cups if it means we don't win the big stuff.
So, but Sammy said that he would prefer that Arteta would have had a better season across these last 3 seasons if he finished 4th every year and won an FA Cup in each of those seasons.
I never said that.
I asked the question. You said that your expectation is success is trophies. If a team wins a trophy and finishes 4th, they've had a better season. So if Arsenal finished 4th in the last 3 years and won 3 FA Cups, Arteta's had better seasons than he's had in these last 3 seasons.
Yes.
That's fundamentally incorrect. Because then your expectation...
No, that's fundamentally correct, because here you have 3 trophies, here you have fuck all. So how is that...
But we challenge for the better trophies. If your expectation...
Shove that. There's nothing to shove.
Anyways, if your expectation is to challenge for the best trophies, and the best trophies are harder to win, then you can't sit there and say, "Oh, if we won an FA Cup, but we didn't challenge for the big trophies, we've had a better season." Because not all trophies are the same. Why can't you see that?
I told you this from the beginning. I weigh the Premier League and the UCL above the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. I never said that I would rather.
Can I ask Solz one thing? When we went invincible, who finished second?
Man United.
Nope, it was Chelsea.
Are you
There you
skunks
go.
out your damn mind?
Your whole argument has been muddied by one statement. There you go. There you go.
How does that mud anything?
One
He got you. He got you there, man. That's what I mean. Nobody gives
One
a fuck
statement.
who's second, man.
His point is no one remembers second place. His point is no one. His point is no one remembers second place.
Exactly.
But you know why? But you know why? You know why he didn't leave my argument. You know why? Do you know why he didn't leave my argument? Because everyone else in the stream, because you lot are laughing at his point.
No, because when you say things about other people, you make it extreme. When we say we want FA Cups, we don't say.
Bro, but TTK, you haven't addressed my point at all. All you've done is you've said, "Oh, who finished second?"
You're lying.
You've said who. You've said who. No. You've said who finished second in the Invincible season, and then tried to say I don't know what it is, but everyone else knows.
Yeah, because everything that you say and stand by has been muddied by that one statement. There you go.
Okay, so why can't you apply that logic to yourself then? Why do you know Chelsea finished second?
Because I know the.
Oh, so you remember second place? Then?
But the season is special to us, so we're gonna know who finished second. But in other seasons, like for instance, when City,
every fan of football knows Chelsea finished second.
You know what's funny?
When Chelsea won the league in 2017. Who was second when Chelsea won?
Can I say one thing? Can I say one thing? I'm saying one thing. Can I say one thing?
TK, I'm going to say this last thing and I'll let you speak.
The reason why I know.
I'm going to say this last thing and I'll let you speak. Wallah,
the reason why I know Chelsea finished second is because I actually remember that season still.
Okay,
you know what
that's
I'm saying?
fine.
That's the difference. And I don't even care about second place. And
guys,
the guy that doesn't care about second place knows who finished second, and you don't even know it. The guy that ends by second place.
No, because I came out on side stream. I went to Hassam's stream yesterday, and this is what I mean when I say you guys don't. You guys speak for the sake of
United. I think it was United.
No. This is why I say you guys speak for the sake of speaking, because I said on Hassam's stream yesterday, if Tottenham won the Europa League yesterday, in a few years' time, no one's going to care who finished second. All that matters is who wins it. That's it. So I've already made that point. So you guys are Sammy laughing and going, "Oh, he cooked you." I've already made that point that TK is making. That doesn't defeat the point of the TK has not answered.
No. You said three seasons. You said 3 seasons second. Then
I can't lie.
That's what I said.
I just want to clarify.
Question. I want TK to answer Ashraf's point and my point that he went quiet when we said it, but then came out with some bullshit one-liner. Answer the question. You said a trophy is a trophy.
No, I went quiet because the show is going on almost for 2.5 hours. It's 11:30. I am tired, and I'm listening to you. I'm listening to your fraudulent ass for 2.5 hours. I'm tired. I want to go. That's the simple thing. I'm tired, bro.
I can't lie. Listen, on that bombshell. Firstly, just before we finish off, I just want to clarify. The only reason why I laughed is because everybody knows that Chelsea finished second that season, bro.
Exactly.
You know
which
everybody knows. But every Arsenal fan knows that Chelsea finished second that season. It's one of the biggest seasons in the club's history, bro. Where we won it, we were invincible, bro. Everybody knows that season anyway. But regardless, listen, big up to everybody who has stopped by. Big up to Cow's Corner who sent in a super chat saying concrete talks with Sesko Rodrigo called complicated because he wants 10 mil a year. We are finished if this club takes this line. Yeah, listen, man, we need to fix up and hurry up and get our targets 100%. But listen, big up to Tommy, big up to Ali A, big up to Arthur, big up to Cow, big up to Phineas who says, obviously he said drop souls and then I'm not gonna drop it. I don't even know what's WE. Am I being stupid?
Whatever.
or whatever. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm just being stupid then. And he also came back and said Sol's clown. Listen, man, it is what it is. It is what it
I
is,
love
bro.
the guys. I love the banner. Give me all this shit. I don't
He
mind.
also came back and said Sol's clown.
Yeah, he
Great
just came back and said Sol's clown. Wallah, it's crazy. But listen, big up to Phineas as well.
I'm
Obviously,
getting
Cal,
slandered. You put
Alpha,
money inside his pocket.
Ali,
I don't know how that works.
yeah, big up, man. Big up. Hold. The game's the game, man. I get slandered all the time, and then the money's going in Hussam's pocket, bro. The game's the game, bro. Do you know what I mean?
The only person who doesn't get slandered is TK because he just mutes them.
No, he just muted Ali A, bro. Ali A
dictatorship.
can only super chat. Ali A can only super chat, bro. Like, and
Honestly,
big up
I
to-
mean, I just gave him a 5-minute timeout, first of all, and second of all, unlike you, I don't speak fraudulence, so I don't get much people that go against me. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't have many people in the chat that go against me. You know, literally at Hussam's show, I was in the chat. Everyone was against what you said, even the Arsenal fans.
And you know who else
Even
was
the
against
Arsenal
me?
fans.
Even
You guys-
TK was in the chat.
again.
Even TK was in the
Late,
chat
bro.
saying. Even TK was in the chat slandering. By the way. So
Hey,
No,
listen,
I wasn't.
big up.
Wallahi, I wasn't.
I
You're
saw your
right.
comment. You said on the
right.
comment section, "Oh, I cook him on the Koora pod every week.
Yes,
Come and watch it."
Because
Blah, blah.
Jack,
You've never
Jack, the
cooked
guy,
in your life.
Okay, listen. Hossam's mod Jack asked me to go on the show. I said no. I cook him every week on the Koora pod. Why would I do that here? You know what I'm saying? It's the truth. I'm not slandering you. I'm telling the truth.
The only guy who can't cook is Sad. And I mean literally, right? The point that I'm making is that
No, I think no. By the way, again, this is why I said.
why are you
English
talking
needs
for?
to
Why?
improve.
Okay, who told you to
You know
stop?
what the word
You want a
literally
timeout?
means?
Turn your
Literally
chair out.
means he actually cannot cook. Literally, Saad probably can cook. Look at him, mashallah.
No, he can't cook. Why? Have you been to
sure.
his house? Has he
Hey! I mean,
No,
yeah,
I don't
mashallah,
understand.
of course, mashallah, of course. You know what I mean?
I
We're
said
healthy
mashallah.
out
I don't
here.
know what's the problem.
The
I said mashallah.
belly's looking good.
The
you know what I
word
mean?
you're
Like,
looking
right.
for,
As we
again,
can tell.
English education
Obviously,
101.
listen,
English
Khubzula,
education
this,
101 from the non-English guy. The word you're looking for is the word you're looking for is figuratively, not literally.
No,
Dumbass.
brother. First of all, Sammy looks like he cooks with his hat on. You look like you've never cooked in your life. Honestly, I don't know how you make food, Ashraf. Honestly, I don't know what you do. You cook with your jumper.
I
on,
have
you
money, so I order.
Yeah, but you sleep with
You know
socks
what?
on.
Listen,
But
man,
you,
I'll
but
be
you
honest,
sleep,
okay,
but you
that's
sleep with
crazy.
socks on though. But you
Sleep with
sleep
socks on is crazy. Listen, all I'm gonna say,
I
yeah.
say what I
Stocks
think
that
on
you can
suspended 6 months. So I cannot say.
Get
Listen,
this
man, let's
bomb
just get
off
on,
the
let's
screen,
get on.
bro. Why you?
Mikel Arteta.
Yeah. And this guy has standards, yeah. But I criticize Arteta when Arteta is Arteta,
Guys,
and there you go.
If I,
TK,
if I-
TK,
if I
go
could
watch
give you-
Hold on, this guy, bro.
Go watch
And
Galatasaray.
Sad,
if
you
I-
are
Go
the
watch
biggest.
Galatasaray.
Sad, you are the biggest fence sitter ever. Okay.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. He is. He is.
Why are you clapping
He
him,
is.
bro?
Wall is true.
Why are you so fake?
no,
Why are you
guys,
so
the
fake,
reason-
bro?
So hold on.
Because
So hold on.
literally
The
the
reason-
fakest individual, bro.
No, hold on. The reason-
the
the reason-
secret Arteta fan.
You
Can I
are
speak?
the you
Can I
are
speak?
secretly still
Can I
Arteta is.
speak?
I think
speak?
so.
He
Yeah.
is. Wallah, he
Can I
is. TK.
speak? Firstly, Arteta is a piece of shit, and I want him out of my club.
No.
No, you
You
don't.
cannot
Let's
say
not
that
look
after
bad,
clapping
but-
him.
but-
No.
No, but
to you.
the reason,
No,
the reason,
we don't accept
here's
that,
the
bro.
thing.
You
But
are
here's the
still an
thing.
Arteta glazer.
He
It's
is, he is.
No,
hard,
Yeah,
bro.
no, but hold on.
You
let
are
me-
an
let me-
Arteta glazer,
let me-
or you
he's
missed.
worse than me.
So the guys that are just chatting shit, acting like I can't. Like when this guy chats shit,
Yeah,
'cause
you're
I
a
need to
glazer
remove
still.
him.
You're a
Yeah,
glazer
well,
still.
TK, he's worse than
Oh,
me.
why?
Bro.
Don't
He
make
said
me
he
remove you
was
from the stream.
TK,
bro.
I
Don't
think
remove
with
you from
chess.
the
Bro,
stream.
be my guest. It's 11:30
Moving
anyway.
back.
I don't
He
care.
hides
Guys,
it. I
listen,
think
listen. Hold on. First of all, you're
Ashraf,
waffling.
Saad's so
100%.
big that I
The
can't
only
see his chair.
reason, the
I can't
only
see Saad's chair.
first of all, the only reason why I clapped Arteta is because I knew for a fact that it would get you so angry.
But so we
For
don't see.
me,
we don't have a
when I
choice,
see his face, it doesn't get me to a moment where I'm screaming and I'm angry and I'm like this and that. You know what I mean? I want him out of my club.
So
It is
you
what it
don't
is, bro.
care
But-
about the wellness of the club? Okay, sure. Okay.
No.
about the
I
club.
just, I I don't have a personal hatred for the guy, innit?
I don't either.
But-
Yeah, I don't hate him
I just
either.
want
I
him to
don't hate
ruin
him,
it.
yeah.
I just don't want a guy to ruin my club. That's that simple. I don't hate him personally.
but
Why would I hate him personally?
No. But whenever if I show him quickly, you
Oh,
lot
you
like,
abuse him personally.
screen like brother. It's all good. But anyway,
You know why,
guys,
Solz? Fuck him. He
you,
earns 15 million a year. Fuck him.
okay,
There you go.
guys, if I can give you just a summary of what Ahwa is.
انت اللي بدات انا اخرس لا يا انت اللي بدات يا شاكر انت اللي شاكر يا اخوان انت اللي بدات لا يا انت اللي بدات يا سامي لا
Summary of the stream, people.
By the way, it's not Ahwa, it's the Koora.
Yeah, I said Ahwa, but I already played the video before.
Yeah, I was wondering
corrected
what the hell
myself.
you're saying.
Before I corrected myself,
I
I played the video, so the video went already.
But we all
Listen.
love each other, guys. We all love each other.
Yeah, of
wallahi,
course.
nothing special. But listen,
we need to put a disclaimer
Yeah,
before
we
the
do,
show
we
starts.
do,
So lie.
we do, wallahi, we do.
Because every time people think we're actually fighting, no, this is banter, guys. This is literally the
Guys,
Arab
we have-
this Arab way
we
of
have the most, guys, we
discussion.
have the most elite banter on YouTube, by the way. We all take it and we give it. We don't care. None of us take it personally. We all love each other, man. You know what I mean? Big up
Yeah,
the comments. Oh,
I listen. Big up to everybody. I'm out of here. We're all out of here. I'm gonna pass you guys over.
someone just called me Hamza. Who's Hamza?
Your brother.
You're like him exactly. Like I just
Dude,
I'm
Hamza.
awesome, man. Yeah. You are exactly the same. You even look the same, to be honest.
I don't know how he looks. I hope he's good looking. I've never seen how he looks like, but if he's being compared to me,
Shall I show you who Hamza is?
I hope he's attractive. I hope he's
this is
attractive.
Hamza, bro.
He's
Am I dreaming? Am I dreaming? Am I? Yo! What's the point, man? Even I can't even take even the guitar cannot help me. Fucking hell. Even the guitar, wallahi, I can't even. Wallahi, I can't even.
That's
Are
Hamza,
you-
bro.
Are you taking the piss?
I big up to Hamza, man.
He was using the same.
Listen,
He looks like Ashraf. He looks like Ashraf with no facial hair.
Listen, we're out of here, people. Love for the love. I'm passing you guys over to Hussam. He's doing the Liverpool show, so go over there and show some love. Massive respects to everybody who stuck with us. We're out of here, people. Love for the love. Peace.